I'm so glad to have you guys tell me 5 episodes.
This is the 5th episode in a row.
So if I do another 3, then I get to pick the.
No. New law now.
Oh,
No,
fuck
that was
off.
the deal. Not
right.
every time.
All right,
Not every time.
If you do 8,
unless-
we'll think of something. We'll think of something, but it's gonna be a little different.
Maybe it's 4. I don't know. I like where we're going.
Do I get a ribbon or a badge? A DJBB fucking.
It's your
I'll give you,
podcast.
I'll tell you what. If you show up 8 weeks in a row, I'll get a trophy for you.
It's you. You're not Andrew Thrain. You're not getting a bonus for showing up to your own podcast.
Kidding
No.
me? Dude, I got a bonus for showing up to fucking high school, and it was graduating 180 out of 195.
With a nose full
That's
of glacier freeze.
It's a bonus I got. Yeah, I know.
Welcome back to the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast for the 5th week in a row. We're hitting you hard, we're hitting you heavy, we're hitting you like the Katrina hit the levees. You're not ready for it, and you're going to have to run for the hills. Hey, it's been enough
Too
time.
soon, dude.
9/11's funny now. Katrina's going to be funny this year. I'm calling it right now.
right.
People are still unhoused from that. It was a tragedy.
Did
We're
they make
talking about...
Hurricane Katrina jeans like they do for the 9/11 Twin Tower.
They really should.
collection?
If they
Shower
didn't
curtains.
already, they really should. It should be everyone in the Superdome sleeping on those army cots. Just to never forget.
Yeah.
Never forget Katrina.
The official hat.
George Bush does not care about black people.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
One of the best clips of all time. Mike Myers, Austin Powers had to stand next to him during that. We'll play that right now, Joe. You're welcome. It's a Dylan Joe Basement Podcast, guys. I'm here with my co-hosts, Dylan. Say hi, Dylan.
Hello, everyone. Dylan here, as always.
And
Thanks,
of course,
Joe, for the intro.
Dom, a.k.a. Chacherino. Dom, say hi to the folks, would you?
Chacherino, you're really getting fancy with this shit.
Chacherissimo.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
That's my Wallace impression. We're here back again. We're like the Backstreet Boys in the second CD when they were like, oh my God, we're back again. Like, we barely even saw you the first time. I love the balls and being like, yep, you're waiting for us. Here we are again, the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast.
Yep.
And we're here to talk about some top secret unclassified shit today. And we've been holding on to this type of episode for quite some time now. And we're going to disclose everything today. What are we here to talk about?
Yeah, on that note, odd that something would happen to me the day of the podcast that's related to topic.
Odd
So
or
we'll start off,
strategically coordinated and planned over the course of multiple years, just to land
and
on
this
today.
is it. I'm going to start off with a question, if you guys are ready.
Ooh.
How
been to a museum.
many?
Oh yeah. Also, I don't
hours-
answer questions. And what's your name and badge number? But okay, go ahead.
Am I being detained or am I free?
I
to
don't
go?
answer questions.
I don't answer questions.
I have a
How many
Fifth
drinks we
Amendment
had today? I don't answer questions.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, officer. I will answer.
No, so yeah, it's a really good question. Waiting a while to ask.
Oh,
you
we'll see
this.
about that.
How many hours has it been for you guys since you last saw a vagina at Ocean State Job Lot?
At job lot is a good caveat.
Also, if anyone just noticed, Dylan said Ocean State job lot. Joe just said job
I would just
lot.
call it job lot because I'm a Rhode Island guy.
The pros call it job lots.
Job lots like the Victory.
Yeah.
The old
If
supermarket.
you are born,
Victory.
yeah, you're entitled to compensation if you're born between 1945 and 1963.
Oh, is this a vaginal mesh issue? I've seen those commercials.
No, just that's the crew that calls it job
I
lots.
got you, but I was
Price
also
sh-
tagging
price
on
shoppers,
that. You said vagina.
Job
You're
lots,
entitled to a
job
compensation.
Lots, Walmarts,
Yeah, you know. Hell yeah.
Starbucks.
I know. I've never seen anyone's genitalia at a job lot, or I would actually say any large retailer.
Yeah, I would agree. Same thing.
Ever?
I'm guessing
No.
ever. Yeah, I'm guessing for you the answer is quite recently, maybe even the last 24 hours.
You've never even seen a dude's dick at Target while you're peeing?
No, I don't usually go to the bathroom at
Really?
Target. No, not like
Where
I
do you go
wouldn't
to the
if I
bathroom?
had to. I probably haven't gone to the bathroom at Target since I worked there.
Yeah, but you must have places where you go take a shit when you're in a car. Like McDonald's.
It's usually McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts. Those are the two big ones. 'Cause
Okay,
they're
You
usually
definitely
open.
use, you definitely use public bathrooms more than like probably Joe and I combined.
Yeah,
Every
you do
day.
because you always have to shit at random times and you're always on the move. So
Always. Yeah, constantly.
Usually I have to take a shit
no,
during the
well,
day. I'm
one-
either at
one
my apartment or
little
at my
bit-
work.
Little bit of advice from me. McDonald's is a terrible option every time, besides the fact that they have the side door you can
The
go
thing
into,
is,
so you don't have
they
to.
never ask questions.
You can avoid.
I'm in, I'm out. You know, and if I have to
You
go,
can
I'm
avoid.
already
But-
ready to go that second. I'm not looking for the best option. Like I'm literally hungover, about to shit my pants on the drive home to Rhode Island.
That's why
I need an
McDonald's
option.
is a bad option, because they name it a McDonald's in the fucking globe that has more than one stall.
Oh no, it's always one stall, and I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ. Last time I was waiting for a
Good
Dunkin'
fucking
Donuts,
chance.
I stood outside the door for 10 minutes, and I almost had the cops called me because I was
Shit
like,
yourself.
I was about
Yeah.
to knock on the door and be like, "What's the fucking hold up, buddy?"
Yeah. So the thing with Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, terrible places for being hungover, because there's another person who beat you to it, and they don't have paper towels.
Yeah. And their toilet
Yeah,
paper is
not go-
see-through. You can do 10 wraps around, and
you
you can
can't,
still see through it.
You can't be too picky about that in the world of taking a shit at random
That's
places,
hilarious.
but-
I finally agreed with you, and you're like, no, that's fine. Yeah.
No, but no
Any
one's,
port in a
no
storm is
one's
my
got
point. I started agreeing with you, and you're like, no,
absolutely
that's not it.
nobody. I know, but absolutely nobody has nice toilet paper.
No, but.
They just don't. What's
No,
the
no,
point?
I
So,
agree.
So one, avoid McDonald's because they don't have. They have the hand dryer thing. So I'm just using my shirt, and then they also.
So I'm supposed to
their
drive
bathroom
past McDonald's
doors-
and go to Donald Lynch Boulevard and go to Target when I'm already fucking at McDonald's
Yes.
down the street from Cook Lane. Okay. Just make sure.
Absolutely.
You know I'm
Because
only going
Target
because I
usually
have
has
to. I
two
got
or
that.
three. Walmart usually has two or three.
I'm not going to fucking Walmart.
Home Depot has usually 3+.
Home Depot's good
Lowe's
because it's
3
people don't
plus.
usually go to the bathroom there either. People go to the bathroom in Walmart to do heroin. Like I'm not going in there
go-
to have a comfortable shit.
It's in the front almost always, so that's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
thing. Walmart, not great. But yeah, Home Depot and Lowe's, guaranteed it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And their doors open outwards, so you don't have to touch them half the time.
That's
There's
nice.
a lot of factors that go into rating where to take a shit.
Maybe we'll do an
every
episode
day of
on
your life.
bathroom shits in public places one day. Maybe next week. But right now we're not talking
Mm-hmm.
about that. So why don't you tell your particular story about seeing a vagina in Ocean State? Because I want to hear it really bad.
Right.
Hotels
No,
are good.
we're not going into another Dylan shit story. We're going into a better story, which is
Whole Foods is
vagina in
good.
Ocean State.
Savers is bad, but I end up taking a shit every time I'm there.
I can't believe they even let people take shits in there. It literally should be.
That's where I get all of my
illegal.
political advice. Is the wall of Savers in the bathroom in the stall.
People have
A lot of
opinions
advice
there.
on there. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, a lot of Kamala Harris stuff. Still.
Wow.
So
They haven't erased it
Yeah.
since then at the Savers bathroom.
still, people are still mad. We're going to Savers. Still pissed that she was ever even running. They're still pissed off.
There's still carvings in Finnegan's bathroom that says George Bush 2004. Let's go.
Good. I think that I appreciate that. Don't go to Finnegan's. Is so wet.
No, what it really is,
Bathroom's
it says
so-
it
No,
says
it's not
Michigan.
wet anymore.
It's
They
not
did
wet
change
anymore.
it.
It's not just piss floor.
Well, it's not
No.
Finnegan's anymore. It's
Really?
fucking Shittigans or whatever.
Shittigans. Okay,
It's under
all
new
right.
management.
So, anyways,
I mean, it sounds really stupid, but one of my complaints when I went there was that the bathrooms were too clean for it to be Finnegan's.
yeah, that's that. I'm
That
not
is a
looking for
Dominic
that.
complaint. I remember it being worse. Anyway, Dylan, let's talk about job lot. I don't want to talk about Savers bathrooms. Let's go.
It's been 4 hours since I saw a vagina.
Wow, that is really soon.
Yeah.
You probably can still picture it.
Is that why you're drinking tonight?
I have to talk about you. I really haven't really spoken to anyone about this yet.
This is this is an exclusive take on the Dylan Joe Basement podcast, folks.
Yeah, so I was going to Harbor Freight and Ocean State job lot because I needed stuff at both.
Harbor Freight in
And,
Ocean State. Oh, we just call it
Needed
freight.
hooks. Just call it freight. Going on fucking freight. Well, the guy at job lot just called it harbors.
Oh yeah, that's actually what we
shit.
call it.
Because I was looking for hooks to hang my bikes on, and but anyways, no, I'm pulling up and there's a little bit of a Definitely like a crack situation, sitting on the curb of Ocean State right there
hearsay.
with us. But it was like a McDonald's colored dress, so red and yellow. Always
Are
strange.
you sure you're not just have McDonald's on the brain?
That's because they do that.
Could be Wendy's colors too.
It could be. But I was driving up, and there's this crack situation
Person.
lady.
Don't
in
call her a
red
whore, please.
Skirt,
You don't know what she
dress,
does for work.
something. Drinking the Coke with the name on it, like.
Well, everyone's
Ariel
doing
or
that
whatever.
now.
Yeah, well,
I know, but
It
you
is
know,
the
come on,
summertime. It's time for
smoking
a
a
good
cigarette.
name.
yeah. So she
Smoking
has
a
some sort of income because it's a modern.
Smoking a
vodka.
You think
cigarette
because she's
you
holding
know,
Coke in her hand that she's a crack person?
a crack person.
Yeah, I mean,
What name was it on there? And why was it Delilah?
but yeah, she was just sitting on the curb with her legs wide open and no underwear, and I saw everything.
Creed.
And I was like, whoa, wow.
That's wild. So you didn't catch a sneaky peek. She was showing it off to the public. I thought maybe she was like fixing her pants and she screwed up, but really she was just showing off the goods, huh? Or the
Yeah, and
bads.
I've got the M3 right now. I'm at the when I'm driving the M3, I'm at that level. So
Oh yeah, you're at
you know,
crotch
like, you're
level.
sitting
Yeah.
on the fucking ground. Yeah.
Yeah, usually that's great. Is it for
and-
the speed bump or whatever you'd call a thing in the parking lot what makes you slow down?
Most things are bad in that car. Right now, the passenger side door is being held up by a 2x4, and when I hit a speed bump, it bottoms out the subframe, and it's so fucking terrible feeling.
Yeah, so I called that.
Yeah, so we got that going on, and vagina right to the fucking face.
Right to the dome.
Crack.
Usually, see, those are two things that usually would be cool, but in this situation, they're not, which just shows you that not
Yeah.
all things are created equal under the Lord.
Yeah,
Wow.
and just
That
because you
is
drive a
something.
cool car doesn't mean you get fucking money, by the way. A lot of people know that.
Yeah, until you got her
Chase
number,
M3.
and you're gonna text her. Or...
Yeah, she's here right now, actually, yeah.
He went, this is great. I need someone to hold the passenger door shut while I drive down the highway.
Exactly.
and stop my cat from jumping out of the sunroof.
Yeah, I actually have a 6-pack of Cokes with names on them right now. Can I give you these if you can just
Say no
actually just
more.
hold the window up while I drive? That'd be really cool.
Wow, talk about it.
she just goes, what are the names?
Yeah, I might get in, but what are the names though?
She goes, oh, Michael, I already got that one. She's
There you
got a
go.
whole
That was
collection
an easy one to get. I'm looking for Aaron with 1A. That's the tough
I wish I took a picture of it because she
Pokemon?
left. Someone came and picked her and some guy up, and she left the Coke bottle. So I did look at the name, but I
That's litter.
forget.
That's a citation right there.
It's bad. She didn't finish it.
Wow,
It was like half full.
that doesn't
Yeah.
bode well for her.
And it's
talents.
also been 5 hours since I told my new doctor that I have in
Chlamydia.
one sitting max 4 beers on the weekends only.
That's
Yeah.
classic.
Yep.
That's classic. What are you gonna do? You try my blood? We don't need to do all that. You don't trust me?
Yeah, they're like, oh, do you drink alcohol? I was like, yeah, sometimes. On
Yeah,
the,
I
Yeah,
mean for
sometimes I
like
have some
weddings.
alcohols.
Yes, like on the, yeah,
You know, if it's my
weekends, I'll
birthday
go
or a
with
wedding or
friends
something.
or whatever.
You already,
you know,
just on Sundays at communion, sir.
It blows my mind that there are people who literally are like, yeah, I'll do it like once a year, like if it's a wedding, or like I'll wait like 5 years till it's like my 30th birthday, then I'll drink a couple of beers, then I'll obviously get a ride home because I had 2 Bud Lights, so I'm not gonna drink and drive. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, boss man. And I work out.
Yeah.
What are you
Well, I made
talking
the mistake
about?
one time with my last PCP. He was like, he's like, how many drinks a week do you have? And I was like,
I made a mistake by being honest. What a brutal.
yeah, I was like, I just assumed 4 beers a day, and like I take the weekdays off a lot of times, you know.
Sure.
But that does not count for Friday, Saturday.
They don't care.
Sunday.
You take
It's a
days
different
off. You're
story.
like, hey, sir, I take days off. They're like, I don't care.
No, don't care. So I said 20, and he was like, okay, we really need to work on that. I want to get that down to 10 because he thought I was
Okay,
I was
not down to
being
0.
kinda honest.
Yeah.
I was being pretty honest, and he, which means he's probably doubling that.
He's doubling it. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So like if someone says, "Oh, I have 2 beers a night," it means that they have.
Yeah, they don't ever
fucking
take your
6. Yeah, they
Because
don't
with your
take
new
word for
doctor,
that.
you did say it, and then he doubled that too. He's like, all right, so that's 8 beers every second.
beers every second of every day.
That's butt chugging Everclear every night. Got it.
Yeah, and then they asked it like, "Do you smoke?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, what do you mean?
Are you asking if I party?
What does that mean?
Yeah, do you party? What do you mean, do I party?
Have you guys not updated your system? Because like that's not really a question.
Yeah.
that
No one's
has
smoking
any
Marlboro
weight.
Lights anymore, buddy. We're doing Zins, we're vaping, you know, all the other stuff.
Yeah, I was like, do I smoke? I was like,
Do I do snooze?
what do you mean by that? He's like, oh, I was like, all right. Sometimes I vape, but I don't have one on me. But he's like, oh,
And,
John,
you're not
like,
allowed
no,
to search me,
you
by the
know,
way. That's against my Fourth Amendment
It's,
rights.
it's hard to kick, you know. Like, it's so fucking funny. I'm like, what? And I don't. And you guys know I don't smoke weed.
No, you don't.
And but I'm like, there was no specific like.
You don't really
weed?
smoke even at all, too.
Do
You
I
don't really
smoke
burn
what?
things and inhale them, really, do you?
No, not
right
like,
now,
well, I mean, I work on stuff in the garage, so I burn.
Yeah,
things and
but
inhale
that's just like
constantly.
that's worse. So it
Constantly
doesn't,
inhaling burnt things.
yeah,
no
I'm sure there's a
question,
lot
but-
of particulates going into your lungs, but it ain't
Yeah.
fun ones, you know. Yeah.
No. Which
That
gets
ain't
me
a lie.
in the thing of like, I was talking to my sister the other day about like, oh no, it was you guys with the spray paint huffing. Was it you?
Well, it wasn't me.
Nope, wasn't us.
Oh, people, you know, like there's some show where people have got silver all over their nose and it's kind of funny because they just huff spray
It's
paint.
Mad Max.
And
You know how they spray their face with the chromium? Witness me.
no, I've never seen any Mad Maxes, but
That is wild to me. That's the kind of movie that you'd
that is
make me
surprising,
watch at
yeah.
your house because you love it so much. You would love Mad Max.
really.
Oh yeah,
Alright, I'll
for
try
sure.
it.
Well, the first two and then the new one. Not
But
the
sometimes
new.
people think
new
I'm gonna
one.
like something like that too much because it's like scrappy people who make like custom cars and. blow
It's
them
not
up, you know?
about the car.
Maybe
it
I
isn't
won't.
About it. Yeah, maybe you won't. But the thing is, I'm not some people. I love you.
I'm really into just like full frontal vag at Ocean State Job Lot.
No, I get that. But how about a
You know that about me.
1980-81 Australian indie film starring Mel Gibson before he's famous that has to do with leather and fucking spikes. It's like Fallout before Fallout. It's fucking fun. It's fun.
I know.
shit.
I did just watch We Were Soldiers, but
What? That's not
but-
even- We're soldiers.
Mel Gibson, he's the fucking main
No,
guy.
I know, I get that, but it's like not very much
also
like
not-
Mad Max. I
not
wasn't
on my
saying Mel
top Vietnam
Gibson's a fun.
movies.
Sorry, I'm getting off track
Not in my
here.
top Vietnam movies, but I don't understand why people like huff brake cleaner and spray paint. I
It
do
makes
that
you feel funny
all
and
the
it's
time.
available.
No, it makes you feel horrible. You're just nauseous. It's not fun at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
No, I it said funny. Like it makes you feel like weird or whatever. I never done it myself, obviously, but
Makes you feel terrible.
but people huff gasoline too. Like it's sure it smells
gasoline
good.
Yeah, I mean, that was a little understandable.
Joe, let that one go. Yeah,
But they don't do it to smell. They do it to fucking make themselves nauseous.
I would do it
and
for
make
the
their
smell.
brain.
But
Joe,
gas
do you know?
smells fucking
Joe,
amazing.
you know the smell when you get on an airplane and you smell.
I
burnt
like the
jet
smell
fuel?
too, but I wouldn't
Fucking
smell it
jet
so
fuel.
hard my brain stops working. You feel like terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, but jet fuel so
I think
good,
you're
bro.
underestimating
And
people's ability to want to get fucked up and not pay for anything, which is just I already have the brake cleaner right here. Just fucking go nuts. It's like people who do whippets. They have access to.
then Whippets are different because it's nitrous oxide and that does feel good.
Okay, well either way, it's just any port in a storm kind of thing. I'm not saying whippets so you order it. I'm saying when you
I know,
get the
you're right,
when you
you're
get the
right.
keyboard
You're right.
cleaner and you shove it up your fucking nose.
Yeah.
It's any port in a storm. These people are hicks.
People
Yeah,
do
I
the
know.
thing where
They
they
just want
spray a
something.
slice of bread with hairspray.
They just want
and
anything
then
they
eat
can
the
get.
bread.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can get high off of licking tabletops, they do that too. They don't give a fuck. They do whatever you can get. I get it.
Do you
I've
remember
never
in
done it,
third
but I get
grade we had to build igloos, Joe?
I do not remember that. No.
Yeah,
weren't there, don't
I think
worry.
I use toothpaste and sugar cubes for the most part.
Yeah, that's what I did. Did you do that too?
Yeah, I think that we all kind of did that. Maybe.
Yeah, but me and Harry were together and we ate a ton of it.
Yeah.
So we would eat the sugar cubes.
What a
in
combo,
toothpaste and
too.
Eat them
Sugar cubes and toothpaste. We ate
Toothpaste.
under 5 minutes, and they probably ate like 40.
on the bottle. On the bottle of toothpaste, it says if you consume more than a pea-size piece of toothpaste,
Yeah, you're gonna have
you
a
should call the
bellyache.
poison control. And we ate half a tube.
Really? Oh no, I definitely ate like more than a pea size of toothpaste as a child. Than like
Yeah, you're
one
not
sitting
gonna
before, and
die.
I felt
One's
fine.
using a pea-size.
You're not going to die from eating
yeah.
toothpaste. You can eat the whole thing. You probably throw up. You're not going to die. It's
We
fine.
thought it was cool, and only 4 years later, we're snorting Gatorade powder in our desks. So yeah,
So you're saying that toothpaste is
So
a
you're saying
gateway drug.
sugar is a gateway drug?
Okay,
it
that's
is.
a joke.
I went to the nurse. We'll get into the topic in a second, but I went to the nurse.
We do need to get the topic at some point. But
I
let's
know
not
we'll
rush
get
it.
there, but
Yeah.
this
Let's
is
not
funny.
rush.
But
We
I
got
went
time. We
to,
got time.
I went to the nurse, after I found out Gatorade powder was a thing, and now it's the best thing in the whole fucking world. Eat with a spoon. In 7th grade. And I was in whatever fucking asshole math teacher's class.
But it's a really bad way to make Gatorade. It doesn't taste like Gatorade. It tastes like Gator Kool-Aid.
Oh, it tastes even better, dude. It's so
yeah,
good.
no, I'll take the argument that it tastes better, but when you put the powder in water, it does not taste like Gatorade.
No,
it tastes
no,
like
it doesn't.
Gatorade
You gotta add more than the recommended.
It's Gatorade flavored juice.
Yeah,
You gotta add more, but you add more than the recommended dose.
but even then, the consistency, it's like a fountain Coke versus like a bottle Coke.
No.
You don't get the same thing.
Bingo. 100%.
But some people like fountain Coke better, or like powder Gatorade better, like you. So it's all good. Anyway,
Yeah. But I snorted Gatorade in the morning a lot.
that's the time to do it.
And,
For those electrolytes.
Yeah,
me and the girl next to
get
me
ready
were
for your most
snorting
important
blue
meal of the day.
Gatorade, like a lot
your
of
nose.
it, because it was funny, and and then later in the day I got a bloody nose, so I went to the nurse
And it was blue.
to get out of class.
Yeah, blue
obviously,
blood.
because I
You're
did
a fucking
anything
police
I could to.
Or an elite.
never
Name a
went-
badge number.
Or an
I
elite
never
from
went
the
to
Covenant.
school. Joe, you can confirm. I never went to school.
Yeah, Dylan, I'd say an average of 4 days per week. That's on average. That means some days it was only 2, some days it was
Yeah.
5. But average of
0.
4.
Some days it was like I wasn't in school for a month.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, you were the king of like, you're like, well, I'm
Never
tired of
there.
going here today, and my mom will definitely pick me up and let me go home or arrange
No
something.
question.
So I'll just leave
Yep.
right now, and then off you go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the nurse and whatever.
I was so
and
jealous
go
of that.
from
'Cause my
there.
mom was upstairs, and I
So-
still couldn't get the fuck out of there. She'd be like, "Are you dying?"
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, "I think so." She'd be like, "Back to class. You're
That's
not
too
dying.
bad. That must suck.
You better throw up
See the
on my
afterlife.
shoes, or you're not
Yeah.
going home. Because I'm stuck here, and you're not walking.
Never,
So you're staying
never
here.
went to school ever. And
Yeah, pretty good.
But yeah, so later in the day I went to the nurse because I had a pretty good bloody nose, and she's looking up there at the fucking little flashlight thing, and she's like,
Is this Glacier Freeze or Riptide Rush? I can't. She's
"Yeah, you
tasting
have
it.
yep, you got a bloody nose. It's really blue in there." I was like, "We were playing with Gatorade powder."
We were playing with it.
We're playing.
I was playing with cocaine last weekend. Just playing around.
Yeah, I was experimenting with Gatorade powder. You'd see what's going on here, right?
I like how you're still like, even though I know full well I'm gonna have to talk about Gatorade powder up my nose. I don't care. I'll just whatever.
I didn't care at all.
All you have to do is not go to the
at
nurse.
all.
You never have to explain it. You're like, no, that's fine. I'll just talk my way out of this. It's not a big deal.
I know I'm talking about myself a lot right now, but I invented early on in the
Piano
game.
key necktie.
He invented it.
Early on in the game, realizing that okay, cool, I have no shame.
It is a
just
powerful
gonna-
tool.
I-
As a kid, you
I
don't know
want-
that because shame hurts a lot. But as you
I
get older,
figured
you
it out
realize
because a lot of people, a lot of middle schoolers have a lot of
Lots of
confidence
shame,
issues and that type
embarrassment.
of thing. And that's
Oh,
totally
yeah.
a cool embarrassment. I was like, I don't want to be here right now, and I'll do anything to get out of class
You
and to
figured
go
it out.
home to go figure it out. I have diarrhea. They go, all right, let's call your mom. I'm like, excellent.
it's a classic move.
What are they gonna check? You know,
It's the number one. I mean, now my
number
work doesn't
one.
care, but
Once
it's the
you-
number one call out thing. Be like, I have diarrhea. Because if I'm willing to say that, I'm probably telling the truth. I talked about, now you picture me taking runny shits in my toilet. Why would I say that unless it was
Yeah.
true? It's a great.
yeah.
It's
and
a
the
great.
funniest thing
excuse.
is, there's a good percentage of us that have diarrhea fucking every day.
yeah, you can
So
use
it's
it any
like-
given time.
Yeah, if I'm your boss, if you say you have diarrhea, I go, interesting.
Yeah. So it's a normal
That's
day
it?
for you. Why don't you call in and tell me you have a solid BM? Then I'll be concerned.
Exactly. Yeah, so easy
I
out
ate a
for
whole
most
head of
things.
broccoli
I
last
have,
night.
I have diarrhea, and it hurts when I pee, and I'm throwing up. Okay. What
Hurts
else?
when I pee.
That sounds pretty normal for an adult.
That's it for right now. But don't worry, I'll be tip top by tomorrow.
And my balls are aching every time my heart beats. Is that something? Can I go home? You must be telling the truth. Why else would he admit that? You know, it's telling the truth.
Yeah, my balls pulse every time my heart beats. And it hurts.
It hurts.
It's hurting me.
It's discomfort. I would consider that
I
discomfort.
can't
was fun for a
focus
while, now
on
it's
hitting
getting
my
annoying.
call quota when my balls are throbbing.
Every time. All I can think about. I can't read my script when all I'm thinking is about my pulsating balls. Speaking of pre-existing conditions, we're here to talk about the MKUltra project today, folks. Let's take it away.
Related to all of this.
Wow.
Let's
Also
go.
known as not trusting healthcare professionals with your well-being. So it does tie in to exactly what Dylan said. That's why he's
does.
a pro. He's been doing this
But
for
use them.
115 episodes, and he's been doing it long enough that he's a professional. He took the Hippocratic Oath of podcasting, which is only be funny and don't be serious ever. We all took the oath. We signed on the podcast. When we cut that,
It's hard when you do that many hours because it just trickles into everyday life and there's nothing serious anymore.
of course, yeah. It's. I mean, if you're not laughing, you're crying. That's what I always say. I came up with that. last week.
There's no middle ground at all.
It's either you're laughing, or you're
It's
crying.
one of the two.
I'd rather laugh.
There's no stability.
Personally,
Mental health? No, I'm either up or down.
I'd rather
No.
laugh.
Yeah, there's
And
no
I will.
stability.
And you guys remember we took that blood pact where we all cut our palms open, and then we each grabbed each other's dicks and then twisted it in a 3-point knot.
You're part.
How can I forget?
Yeah,
That was an
yeah,
oath
yeah,
I
we-
will not
yeah.
forsake. I'm not an oath breaker.
No,
So-
don't break it, dude.
Yeah. It's like that Pat Benatar song about the United States military. And speaking of which, we're here to talk about Project MKUltra. You folks might have heard of it, might not have, but it is probably one of the most famous government programs that they tried to hide from us, and it leaked out. And as it leaked, people were burning bridges and washing their hands faster than Pontius Pilate on Easter Sunday. They didn't want anything to do with it. But we want a lot to do with it. And I thought we would start with the beginning, and that happens to be with the OSS, also known as the Office of Strategic Services. See, now, in my life, the CIA has been around for so long, it's ubiquitous. I thought the CIA was like George Washington started it. You know, it's been around forever. You got to have, movers and shakers in the United States government. But then you come to realize that before World War II, we were very much that colony that popped off one too many times. It had a lot of land and a lot of money. But during World War II, we pivoted into the major superpower in the world, controlling everything going on all the time, or else. And that's when we start to get the beginnings and the whisperings of this particular CIA project we're talking about today. Dylan, I know you know about the OSS.
I sure do. Yeah.
So during World War II, obviously, every branch of the military had their own intelligence, and the federal government wanted to know what the fuck was going on too. But there was no coalescence of all of them together. It's almost like when they started the serial killer program in the United States, where they had to have, okay, now if you're a different state, you have to talk to the other state about what cases you have. Where they used to take it like territorial, like, hey, I'm Massachusetts. I'm not going to talk to Rhode Island about my crimes. This is our business. But now,
We want to get this.
yeah, but now because serial killers existed, they had to start saying like, oh yeah, you have to talk to other states about it just in case they move from state to state, because this is the modern world. They can just take a car or a plane and just escape. Because it used to be back in the day, you could just stab someone in the head in New Jersey, go to Pennsylvania, you're basically home free. You could leave your whole family and go to Pennsylvania and be home free. Like you could leave and never be found again.
Yep.
Like you're on a farm or something like that. And it's the same idea for the formation of the OSS, which is that we need to have one government agency that just controls all the intelligence and can do with it what they will, or maybe, have new kind of crazy plans. That, alongside with the fact that the fall of the Nazi regime meant that Russia, or the USSR, was becoming increasingly powerful in the vacuum there, made America go, oh, we were right for doing this. We need to form a agency that is, completely involved with world intelligence, because Russia has it too, and it's called the KGB, and which they love to butt heads with. It's like the Yankees and the Red Sox. Whatever team you're on, you think you're the best, and the other team is awful and evil, but you're doing the same fucking shit. They are doing the same shit, and the idea that they're not is fucking wild to me. And the interview that I was watching is so
Joe,
fun.
I got to say, that was a pretty great Dylan's explanation of the OSS.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you did my work for me. But I have a couple things to add. So you also forgot about MI6, which is James Bond, which is real.
The
That's
United Kingdom's
British intelligence.
version. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was originally called the SIS, which is like the Special Intelligence Service.
It was too close to the SS, so they're like, oh, let's change the name. We changed it to Mission Impossible 6.
The thing is, all of these special services were the...
Or SSs, as we might call them.
The SS was a little slightly different, but they Yeah, they were focused on espionage, intelligence, reconnaissance, and they were the predecessor to
Coordinated coups, assassinations,
Yeah, exactly. The
public
French resistance
disinformation,
was
propaganda
tied
campaigns,
into all these people. They were just all those things. So
all
like
the fun stuff.
it was really cool. So they're the first ones who really started to officially document commando techniques and operations that later were used by our elites, like the Navy SEALs and the Green Berets and stuff like that.
Sure.
But like blowing up boats from swimming under them and putting mines on them and wearing
All the cool spy
really
shit.
specific cool camo, like the winter warfare outfits to just kind of observe. and
Heart attack guns,
do cool shit.
polonium
heart attack
tipped
guns.
umbrellas, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, the OSS, that's where it all started. And it started in 1942, actually, so Officer Services.
Mid-war.
And, by someone with the last name Donovan.
Dunny.
William Donovan was appointed by FDR,
Dunny.
and he was a highly decorated World War I officer. And
It's always funny when they say highly decorated. It looks like he's a fucking Christmas tree full of like medals and stuff. Like he's highly decorated.
probably
Look how
fucking
cute he looks.
was. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. It's just always funny. He's highly decorated. Like my fucking lawn's highly decorated. Let's get over that. He's highly awarded, I guess.
Yeah. And it's interesting stuff.
So yeah, they're doing mostly wartime shit, which is that's how you start a service like that. You go, we have to have. This is before the CIA existed. We have to have the OSS because, like, think about this: the Nazis, the Soviets. It's going to be a bad news. China's getting all uppity now that Japan's been smacked down. We need to figure the shit out, and that's the time when you make sweeping government programs based on fear. Is when people are already afraid. You go, we have to out-fear them, because if you in 1995, if you're like, we need to start the CIA, people would be like, why? Like, we're doing good. It's the dot-com boom's coming. The Backstreet Boys are coming around the corner. Nirvana's here. They died. Like, it's like when people aren't afraid, they don't like the government forming large organizations based on, global reach. But when you're in the middle of World War II, that's the time to pitch the idea. People are very receptive to the idea, I should say. Go ahead, Dylan.
Well, you said something really fucking important right there. Was that I forget exactly what you said, but it goes into the fact that throughout all the way up to MKUltra and a little bit beyond, and all before that, our government and our military intelligence specifically, not including all the things like the fucked up shit with the Illuminati and stuff like that, was very competent because they were so interested in new information.
Sure.
So now you can't trust fucking shit. Back then you couldn't trust them, but they were on it, big time. And that's when the OSS, later turned CIA, was like, we give a fuck, and you're not gonna get shit by us because they really fucking cared about.
Yeah, they were worried with
piece.
actual.
And the thing is with
defense of the nation.
MKUltra. Yeah, and
They're worried with people
OSS
attacking United States citizens and hurting them. They're not. The CIA is minorly concerned with that, more concerned with the global puppetry of the United States. It's much different. We'll get into it later. But.
It's different these days, but back then it was like, hey, we're military intelligence, and we know that the Nazis have a train going southbound that's carrying nuclear material, and we need to fucking stop this thing.
Yeah,
it was a little different. Needed. It still is the same, but it's so much more broken apart and confusing. Yeah. But
and their motivations are not of one mind. It's very scattered and. There's general ideas about
back then
dominance.
It was one mind. It was like, we need to end this war.
Yeah. Back then it wasn't one mind. Yeah, that's why it's
was
clean.
one mind. Now it's like, God knows what the fuck's going on.
Well, not clean, but it's like streamlined.
a little tidbit of crumbs on the way to talk about MKUltra.
Yeah.
Is that unfortunately, MKUltra was a combination of intelligence for the greater good of trying to.
That's always the sales
stop
pitch.
The Cold War, mixed with the SS and the shit they did at Auschwitz. That's the fucking problem. So
there's good ways to do it.
They cross some lines.
Yeah. No, there's good things to do with knowledge like that, like form NASA, and there's bad versions like forming MKUltra. You can take the Nazi stuff and you can go one way or the other way, and then they decide
Yeah,
what
so
you
the
can
Nazi
do.
stuff, MKUltra really kind of started Auschwitz, and a lot of those people were brought
the
in
Nazis
to
are the
do that.
proto. They're the fucking Moses of the Bible. That is MKUltra. They started the shit, and they're
Yeah.
without them there would be no MKUltra in the way that we
what
know
happens
today.
if we give children a tube of toothpaste every day with sugar cubes? That's how that shit started.
This is how it starts.
Was that, and then it turned into let's give psychedelics to people over mind control. We'll get in there later, but just saying.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think that we should take our first commercial break here before we break into the forming of the CIA and how the MKUltra gets started. And just the same, it's based on fear. Well, they're doing it, so we got to do it too. They're making rockets, we got to make rockets. They're making nukes, we got to make nukes. They're doing mind control, we got to do mind control. It's not because we're like them, it's because we have to beat them at their own game, which is becoming exactly like them, completely down to a T. It's very cool judo trick that they do where you go, well, I didn't want to do it, but since you made me do it, I'm going to do it better than you. Yeah, it's very interesting. So we'll get into that presently. Dom, any parting remarks before we hit the first commercial break?
Nope.
Thought you might say something like that. We'll see you guys on the break.
Oh my God, went back again.
The shape of the city has changed dramatically, tragically, and perhaps irreversibly. There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. And you know that it's been 5 days because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Please call.
Joe, we're recording.
All right, welcome back to the Dylan Joe Basin podcast. I have a question for you guys.
Of course.
I'm ready.
Answer honestly. This isn't like I'm your
I don't
doctor.
answer questions, but I'll
I don't have a badge number or a name, so
That's
you
fine.
can't fucking get me with that
well,
one.
if that's the truth, get your fucking supervisor down here then. You know I'm your boss, right? Because I pay taxes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying? You're asking me a
We're
question.
saying, how many years has it been since you guys have been to the mental institution?
Not since
28.
I would say not since I left Marlborough Hospital, and that's not even the institution. It's just the where you, like you said, where you get locked in, and you know, as Rorschach said, "I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me."
I wasn't in the mental institution in Marlborough, but I was in the ER one time on a full moon, and they
It might as well.
they roam the ER free.
Half of them are going upstairs after that night anyway. They have to.
And I was like
delegate.
I was like 15 or something, and there was a lady in a muumuu, well, not a muumuu, with a fucking hospital gown, Johnny, like just peering into my curtain every now and then. I was like, "Yo, hey, can you fucking tell this chick to stop fucking
no
doing this?"
peeking.
Like, "Oh, well, it's we let them roam." Anyways, so for me, it's been
It's been 1
Right
week since I was
before-
institutionalized.
So, 2018 or something, I went to the mental institution in Clinton to visit my grandmother,
Yeah.
who was, 400 actual years old.
Is
I
that
think
what
she
they
was-
told you when you were right behind your back? You're gonna visit grandma. You're like, okay.
I was like, oh, okay, this is how I have to wear the straitjacket to get in to visit her. They're like, yes.
They keep putting the sponge on your lips so your mouth doesn't dry up. They can't
Oh
trust
God,
you.
you mean the fucking pops? You mean the
Yeah.
lollipop of death?
Yeah, oh yeah. I
The
agree with
green
that.
little thing when
Oh,
you go to
yeah.
visit your dead grandparents,
Ugh,
dying
that
grandparents,
is-
and they put it in their mouth to fucking.
You know, when you get that, it's bad news bears.
When the lollipop of death comes out, it's time. Just bring me behind a tree and shoot me.
Yeah, no more swallowing for you.
No, yeah, that thing fucking game over. But anyways, no, so you guys have never ever been to a real mental institution?
No.
That wasn't
No,
abandoned.
not a real one.
I've been to an abandoned
a
one. I've been
ward.
to a real active one. So I went there to go visit my grandmother because she got put on a
You
new
found out that
medic-
she was at the abandoned one for some
Well, I've
reason.
been within.
She was there to go get her. Yeah, exactly.
What are you
She's
doing
just-
here?
Granny,
I've been to an
you're
abandoned one. But I didn't think
you're
that counted.
You're into
Because it's not
urbex too? Holy shit! Sick. Yeah. Fun.
Urbex.
Yeah. So like we knew she was there, and they had to keep her for 3 weeks, and I was coming from work, so this would have been actually before that because I was still living in Marlboro, and whatever, which keeps happening actually, but
It's a cycle. A vicious
keeps
You're destined to be a
happening.
Marlboro
I end
man.
up back here, but before
the
I officially
Marlboro man.
left. So yeah, let's say 2016, 2015, and
Let's make
yeah,
it 14.
she was seeing shit. Make it 14. Yeah, she was seeing shit or something, whatever. So they put her on Depakote or one of those like crazy like
Hey,
antipsychotics.
please stop using the C word when we're talking about these institutions.
And thank you, Joe. And they need to observe them for like 3 weeks while they get put on this drug. So they, I don't know, they don't shoot up a mall or
That's
something.
such a
when
long
they're-
time, though. It's
When they're
like 3
96
weeks.
years
Fuck
old,
you.
they don't go into a mall and shoot up at the place or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
Whatever.
pretty sure if you're 96, you'll get one shot off, and then the recoil will break your wrist, and then it's easy at that point to
I
subdue
don't
you.
think my 96-year-old grandmother could even hold a gun because every time
Yeah.
I would move a chair, she'd be like, "Wow, you're so strong." So
I
I'm
still
not
bet she's
sure.
stronger than Joe.
He's stronger than Joe, but I know, yeah. But yeah. So I was like,
you can't institutionalize me for being a weak little bitch, okay? Or
My
else I'd be
siblings went
locked up
there.
for life.
my siblings went there, and they're like, "It's
Voluntarily.
it's fucked." But I was like, I gotta go visit grandma. It sounds good. So I'm like, all right, this can't be that bad. Like, it's really bad. I was like, nah, I've seen it all. Let's see.
The Clinton
I'm
home
now-
for the criminally insane.
Yeah. So it's in Clinton. So I drive my little fucking Z3 down a fucking mental station, and
As you do.
That car is free entrance in.
exactly. Thank you. Was
Please
called
wave them
gay
in.
all the time for having a fast sports car with a convertible.
When I
Dude, the
left,
only thing
there was
worse- only
boots
thing
on
worse
all
than
4 of
the
my
guy complaining
tires.
About being yelled at is a Z3 guy complaining about being yelled at.
I know, it's shitty. It's a fucking beautiful car, and it's fast, and it has a Torsen limited slip. Fucking no joke.
All I know about Z3 is it's the worst Xenon movie.
Well, and after your breakup, I took you in the Z3 to Davis Farmland. No, to the ice cream place on 495.
What the hell is that place called now? It's
car shows
Bumper
there?
Boats.
Bomber
Oh,
boats.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about? It's right next to the Tower in the Square in Littleton.
Kimball's.
Yeah, Kimball's.
Kimball's.
Yeah, Joe, you know the
one in
Z3.
Lancaster,
Don't be
too.
pretending you didn't like that fucking car.
Is that what I said? I just did a little joke about not knowing cars. That's all.
Just two attractive guys in their early 20s with a top down driving
That was a very
Kimball's.
important moment in my life. It showed me how good of a friend you are. I'll never deny you that. I was like,
Thank
that's a
you,
real
yeah.
friend.
That's a real friend. I'm so glad my friend has a convertible in moments like this.
Even 5 years from now, when you hit your breaking point and you tie me to your radiator and put a bullet in my head, I'll be like, well, he was a good friend. You can't deny that. Remember Kimball's? I'll never forget Kimball's. That was a big man.
He
move.
paid for the ice.
Hashtag, make sure Kimball sees this clip.
Hashtag Kimball. It's
Before my
Kimball's,
psycho
it's
friend
summertime
shoots me
season.
after-
It's the busiest time of year for Kimball's. You get down there and get yourself a hunk of chunk of PB fudge and a bumper boat ride to hell.
To hell, yeah. So we, anyway, so I take my little Gazy 3 down to the mental institution, and
It's a gazy, it's a wazi. It doesn't fucking exist.
It doesn't exist.
and I go in, and it's part of it looks like a primary care place. Then you go up to the floor, and then the doors lock.
Then
with
you
the
see
fucking-
the lightning strike and the bats fly away. You go, this doesn't look like your usual hospital.
Dude, honestly,
I found the
dude,
place.
if that was it, that'd be nice. So they've got the glass with the wires in it. So
The guy has the super tall top hat and the long hair, but he's bald and the fingernails. Excuse me? Have you been beckoned here? Let me see your invitation. You're like, what? Excuse me?
Is that your Z3 in the parking lot?
I recognize that sound anywhere. You say your grandmother's here? Is her spirit here or her body? Excuse me?
Was she married before? How do you... So you get buzzed in,
Yeah.
and you go sign in, give me your license, the whole fucking thing.
Name and badge number. Yeah.
Name, badge number, the whole thing. They're like,
ID.
why are you being
What's the reasonable
admitted
articulable
here?
suspicion of a crime? Why am I giving you my Fourth Amendment rights?
Yeah,
Up to you.
exactly. So as I'm doing this, there is, I'm not. Please don't think I'm overemphasizing this at all. In hospitals they have like those wooden railings that are like from the '90s that are too big, and they've
So you
they're
can
not
always
just
hold on to something when you're walking.
Yeah, and you also can't kill yourself with them. Like you can't like. Take
It's
off
just
and,
the right amount of holding on but not killing yourself.
Yeah, there's nothing you can.
You
really
can't
hurt
tie a
yourself.
belt around them and then do a fucking baseball slide into the bathroom.
Like that serial killer.
like
Tying himself
BTK.
to the back.
No, you can't tie any ropes around. So if you
Tourette's
if you have a door to open, you can't tie it on that and then slam the door to get off.
Yeah.
And you can come.
Yeah,
you can't even
no.
do that.
It's
'cause you
no
can't
fun
tie
there,
anything
is
on
what
it.
you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
everything
hear
in there is nice and safe.
It's all
and,
nerfed up.
and it's got the
If it ain't
asbestos
nerfed- is it
tiles
nerfed
that
or
we had
nothing?
at Hudson Catholic. It's the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
And as I'm signing in, I'm not kidding. It's Gollum in a Johnny. With black, the whole
Gollum and
entire
Johnny.
eye is just the pupil. It's just black eyes.
Whoa,
With the
that's scary.
stringy, greasy hair down the
Yeah.
fucking face, just chewing on that railing, as I'm in there,
Chewing on it.
chewing on it,
impressive.
like gnawing on it and looking
That's
at
what
me.
you'd put in a movie, and you'd be like, "That would never happen." That's kind of over.
It happens. It's
but
there.
It really
it's
happens.
there. Yep. It happened. It was there. And I'm like, looking at this person. I'm like, holy fucking shit.
And they're looking at your soul when they look at you, obviously.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, this
That's
is
rough.
fucking my 96-year-old sweet little Werther's original grandmother is in
She's
here
in here
right
with
now?
these-
What the
She's
fuck?
one of the originals.
Beast that have been corrupted by the ring.
Yeah, so ring girl, call him whatever, call it whatever you want. That fucking person's
Well,
right
Lord of the
there,
Rings.
right now,
That's
a
what Gollum's
foot
from,
from me,
you forgot.
chewing on the fucking railing as I'm saying my fucking little name.
Nice.
And
Your little
I'm like,
cute
oh
little
yeah,
name.
you're here to see Mary Brown. She's in room 16 on the left. I'm like, okay, sounds great. And you're walking in the hallway, and everyone's. I have a theory.
The fluorescent lights are flickering in the daytime.
Yeah. So say that all of a sudden something happens. There's three of us. There's a good chance one of us will get there eventually. And and you're there. Even if you are like slightly insane, you're there. So you just go turn the dial up to fucking 11.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm fucking here, so I'm just gonna do what say,
Welcome to the jungle.
feel, jack off, whatever. No fucking rules.
All the above.
Lawlessness.
As
And
long
this
as you're
was-
not worried about staying there for an extended stay, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
do whatever you want. You're like, hey, they think I'm crazy, so I might as well just fucking start fucking fingering my asshole and jerking off and
Yeah.
fucking throwing
But
up.
don't you feel like it's
Shoot.
like Breakfast Club though?
What?
Don't you feel like it's like Breakfast Club though, where as soon as you do anything, like you jack off, you're like, "What am I crazy?" They go, "You just bought yourself 2 more weeks." And you're like, "No, I'm not actually crazy. 2 more. I keep going. That's another month. You want 2 more months?
Make it 10 years. Fuck you. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
you just bought
Yeah.
yourself 10 years. Like that's what I feel like it is. Like you have
Great,
to be,
good.
Like,
Give me
walking
10
on
years. Fuck off.
eggshells.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
of course, because they're looking at your behavior. But,
They want you.
But,
they want to keep.
But if
you.
you've got the gun to your head, I'm fucking like, yeah, fuck it. Give me 80 years. I don't give a shit.
Well, if you got the
Fuck
gun to
you.
your head, then
I
you're a
hate
harm
this
to
place.
yourself and others, and you should be staying in there.
Yeah, not my gun to my head, someone else's gun to my head. But like, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, dude. You guys are watching my everything. Like,
I'm gonna
"Ah,
leave
yes,
right
I'm
now,
so
or I'm gonna blow
sweet."
my fucking
And I'm
brains
so
out.
nice. Yeah, I'd be like, off the bat, I'd be like talking about that shit and coming everywhere. And
Yeah, we get
anyway,
it.
so I'm walking in the hallway and everyone's like talking to me and they're all odd. Hi, what's your favorite sport? I'm like, oh, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm here. Bye bye. Like they're just saying everything. And I get in the room, and my sweet little grandmother is sitting there, terrified. And I was
Hanging from the ceiling. You're like, what the fuck's going
like,
on?
that's not funny. So
Oh no,
she-
I meant like a spider.
No,
I meant like a
not
spider.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I should have been more
like in
clear.
a spooky
Like
way.
a spider
Holy
in a
shit,
spooky way.
dude, Jesus
No.
Christ.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
she's
about
crawling up the ceiling. No, it's fine.
that. Yeah, I'm not like a
Crawl
like
up
a
the ceiling.
spider.
Yeah,
I'm-
okay,
I
gotcha.
understand.
don't need
what I'm
apologies. It's all good. Yeah. So
Okay, sorry,
she's,
go ahead.
yeah, crawling up the ceiling, hanging off the fucking roof. Yeah. But
Yeah. I know.
she's sitting there in a little thing, and she's absolutely terrified. And she sees
I
me.
would
She's
be
like,
too.
she's like, Dylan, what are you doing here? I'm like, hi, Grammy. How you doing? She's like, I don't like it here. I'm like, no shit. I was like, what the fuck are you doing
And you're a young
here?
man. She's an old lady. If you're scared, she's fucking scared.
And she had a roommate too, and I'm like,
Oh
I was like,
God.
Grammy, I was like, we gotta get you out of here. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna figure out. I don't know. This is not. And they just put it there for observation on a new drug. I'm like, holy
No,
shit.
that is awful.
I'm like, what is this woman gonna do? Like I said, shoot up the mall? No. She can barely walk. And she's 80 pounds.
That is
So,
a misappropriation of bureaucracy right there. She
Holy
should never have been
shit! Yeah, insurance said she had to go there, and I was like,
Oh,
she's
fuck.
with 18-year-olds that
Yeah, United Healthcare thought she
go.
should
I want to
there.
kill myself because I hate school. Like she's with those people, and then she's
Yeah.
with the people who are like
She's with
criminally
violent
insane,
people who need help, not
or people who weren't violent but had a lot of violence to them, so they are now expressing violence.
I'm not saying they're all violent, but like they can really beat her up. She's an old lady. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, so I'm sitting there with her. I'm talking to her. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be okay. I just have you here for fucking whatever. And I got my arm around her, and this fucking
And an orderly came in and tackled you. Get off that lady.
No, another Gollum-ish lady comes in, and she's like pointing with her finger at my grandma. She did this. She did this to me.
No, she
And I was
didn't.
like, hey, ma'am, you need to leave the room. She's like, no, she killed my husband and
man,
burned
that's what we're
down my
dealing
whole house.
That's what we're
Burned
dealing
down the whole. I was like, get out of the room. You need to get out of here. Leave. She's like,
Mary
yeah,
Brown did not kill your
she
husband,
did this.
lady.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Grammy, what the fuck? And she's like, well,
She just
all right.
goes, she's right. I did do that.
But that was a long time ago. The statute of limitations is up on that.
Look, Barbara, that was 50 years ago. Let it go.
Also,
No.
you did that. That's why you're here.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You're
So I'm like,
playing
I don't
the
know what to
blame
say
game,
to
Barbara?
people.
We're not gonna
Besides,
fall for it.
now I'm just fucking mean. I'm like, get the fuck out of my
Oh, yeah,
grandmother's
I'd be
room.
like-
You need to leave, please. Don't stop scaring us. Jesus Christ.
scaring both of us.
So, something, whatever.
Lady,
All of a
you're
sudden we-
scaring us.
All of a sudden, me and Grammy go to the room like down the hall. That's where the TV's on, where they're just playing fucking Cosby Show, and
Nice.
with a bunch of
Psycho.
chairs, with a bunch of chairs in front of it, and I'm just sitting there watching Cosby Show.
Good Lord.
Well,
There is no God. You live your full life, have a lovely family, you end up in there just because you're old. It's fucking bullshit.
Oh, fucking God.
That's awful, dude.
Yeah, so just this is the end of the story. It just gets better. But
No, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sitting here, and the fucking lady's in there, and it's funny. And there's a guy in the front, an old guy, and then this fucking lady with the house burned down thing, sort of near us, and this lady's just egging on this guy, and she's saying
That's the thing.
something.
They build each other up. They like rile each other up because they're all you know pointing fingers.
Oh yeah, exactly. And she's saying something to him, and he goes, "Hey, fuck you."
Awesome. Awesome. Poor
Hey,
grandma's there trying to watch
fuck
the
you.
Cosby Show.
I don't give a fucking shit. You fuck off. And she's like, I thought you were a Christian. And that's all I remember for this whole thing. And I'm like, all right, I got the fucking. I'm like, Grammy, let's get you back in your room. Enough of the Cosby
is
Show for now.
awful.
What the fuck is this?
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, so that's the last time I was
shit
at
is
the
the-
mental station.
I mean,
I was like, holy shit.
world is
what
so
the
unfair.
fuck? Yeah, and
That
then
is
again, there's the
fucking crazy.
19-year-old in there who just fucking cuts herself while this
Yeah.
shit's going on. I'm like, dude,
She's probably
fucking-
scared as shit. This old guy
Just
is
don't
jacking
tell
off in the
anyone.
corner, spitting at her. She's like, "What the fuck's going on here?" I just got mad
Yeah.
because my boyfriend broke up with me. Meanwhile, now me and Irving are roommates. This is fucking
Yeah,
awful.
Irving is roommates, and Irving is fucking, watching the Cosby Show, telling
You
old
look
lady
just,
to
you look just
fuck
like my
you.
wife who died in the war. I married her when she was 15 and I was 27 before the war. You look just like her. You look just like her, like down to a T. Even your ass looks like her ass. It's like, oh my god, why is this girl in here? Yeah, that was the craziest part to me. I mean, my only example of that was up in
Marble Hospital,
in
yeah.
3
He's-
West, but
he's
it
fucking
literally
people.
was a 67-year-old man who was 310 pounds and had the capability of fucking anyone up in there, and he'd be sitting right next to a 16-year-old girl who cut herself, and they were like not roommates, but like they would spend all day
Yeah.
with each other. I'm
Yeah.
like, this should not be how this is going. I don't know what
It's not good.
I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like you'd be better
Yeah.
off in juvie than in here. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So that's the
At least you'd be with your peers and not 67-year-old men who literally have a boner right now.
This very second, right now, you're talking about.
I know they have to wear sweatpants and like scrubs and whatever because it's like the safety thing, but like I don't want to see every guy's boner, especially if not I'm a teenage girl locked in a hospital. That's the last thing I want to see.
400-pound-year-old guy. Yeah,
I
exactly.
was able to leave, and I was still scared of that guy. I don't know what she was feeling. Probably not great.
Well, as you know, because like my sister worked in Rubber Hospital.
Oh,
she
yeah,
said
she
she would
knows.
pull the curtain in whatever room it is, and if it's a guy over the age of 60,
It's immediately
jerking off,
jack off time. Every time. From what I know, as soon as someone
they're
gets
over
admitted to
60
the hospital,
and they're in the hospital
they are jacking
and they're
off.
there for more than 2 days. They're jacking off every
It's
time you pull the curtain.
happening all the time. They can't even get mad because it happens so often. It's like they can't even get mad. They're like, "Stop it!" They have to act like it's a dog, like peeing in the car. We're like, "No, stop,
Sir, I
know?
can't come in here without this.
Not a
Yeah.
sexual crime, which it is.
Oh my.
Saving
but-
this one for you, honey." Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, sir, I'm just trying to check your heart rate, and you're like, you know what heart rate reminds me of
He
when I was
goes, "You
fucking
see
my
how my
wife, and you're
balls
like,
are beating
stop
so
talking. You know what? How does a pretty girl with a nice sweet ass like you end up here? Like, sir, please,
Please stop.
it's disgusting. And I'm so sorry that in about 20 years I'm gonna be that guy. Because I think it's gross, and I don't think people should act like that.
Yeah, but they're always jacking
They're
off.
trying to help you, but meanwhile, you're fully jacking it in the fucking Ranger 2.
I've never heard that before.
Dumb. You gotta spend
Dude,
more time in
I
hospitals,
mean,
dude. It's just all.
I
If you're
don't
if you're
think
a
I
male
do.
in the hospital over the age
I
of,
literally heard
I'd
stories-
say over 50, it's just you're
It's
just jacking
disgusting.
off always.
Well, even
That's all they
old
do.
guys being like a male nurse come in and be
Sexual
like,
harassment.
"Where's the other nurse?" And the guy be like, "Well, I'm the nurse right now." Like, "Oh, I want the pretty one." Like, what? To what? To remove your fucking catheter? Yes.
Yes, they do. That's what they want.
They
That's
want
what
a
they
pretty
want.
girl to rip their tube out of their urethra. It's fucking
Oh
disgusting,
yeah,
man.
always. Like, oh yeah, your grandfather's
professionals, man.
loving Frisbee Memorial Hospital in Maine. There's the pretty girls there. It's like, dude,
Whatever they're getting
holy
paid, that ain't enough.
shit. No.
That's a fucking. Oh my god. Anyways.
So what do you think? Back to MKUltra?
Yeah, speaking of healthcare
Yeah.
professionals and psychiatric help, we're and a perfect
Jacking
dovetail
off.
again to right what we're talking about today. So we always established the U.S.A. after World War II, it gets converted into the CIA. Most of the same staff are part of the CIA at that point, called the Central Intelligence Agency, and they basically start to grow, and they get a lot of money to start growing up because now it's the Cold War, and now we have reason to have a CIA. And at the time, they're like, we gotta the Soviets are already doing this, and it really starts to pop off, this program, during the Korean War, because during the Korean War, another cycle
forgotten
comes in.
war.
And, when I was a kid, I thought the Korean War was us versus Korea. Like when you were a kid, you're like,
not.
the Vietnam War, it's us versus Vietnam.
Yeah,
They were
we
trying
the
to fight
Koreans,
us, we
yeah.
fought them. The Iraq War, us versus Iraq. Afghanistan War, us versus Afghanistan. None of those wars are us against a country. None of them are. They're all us against a splinter cell agent of the state or whatever. But
Russia
the Korean
or China
War,
for all of them. 100%
yeah,
of
the
them.
Korean War was the United States against the Soviet Union and China. That was what the war was. And Korea happened to be located there. And so during the Korean War, a lot of American soldiers were captured and brought into Chinese interrogation rooms. And the United States was under the impression that China was doing some kind of ancient Chinese secret interrogation magic where they could mind control our soldiers. And the soldiers that did come back, they did admit to things that they could never have done and never did. And they're like, well, these guys must have been mind controlled in China. This Chinese mind control program. We need.
What was it? They were in a hospital and they were like, they caught me jacking off 15 times. I would never do that.
You would never do that. And his wife is like, he never even
He would
comes.
never, ever do that. He's a
He never
Christian.
wants to have sex. So it
never
can't
do
be
that.
true.
Yeah.
What it was is that it wasn't any mind control technology. It was that they just tortured the shit out of them until they admitted things that they didn't do. So when they came back,
Did you jack off in Ward 6?
Never.
When you were being observed?
never.
No.
And they don't let them
Did they
sleep
pull
for
your
7
finger?
days.
Did they pull your toes out? You go, yes, I did. I fucking
Yes,
did.
I did, and I do it again too. Do you feel bad about it? So they came back, and these soldiers were saying that they were part of germ warfare strikes in America. They're like, "I'm sorry, I did it. I don't know why I did it, but I used germ warfare. We dropped insects. We dropped bombs with germs in them. This never happened. But these soldiers were saying
Lyme
that they did
disease.
it because they spent
Different other topic, but
a
Lyme
fucking
disease
year in
was invented
China
for that.
being tortured, so that they were saying it to United States officials that they did this, and they were like, "Well, we know for a fact they didn't do this, but why did they say this? It must be magical, new technology where you can mind control people through ancient Chinese magic or whatever, or maybe modern magic, which is just torture the shit out of them." So they were like, "Well, how are we gonna do this?" So they decided to start their own program to try to, and of course they posed it this way, like I said earlier. They go, "We would never do this, but because the Chinese people did it already, the Soviets are going to do it, so we have to do it too. We don't want to do this kind of stuff, but we have to do it, otherwise they're going to do it to us. So we have to figure out a way to control the minds of not only, POWs that we capture that can give us information, but also our own agents. If our own agents get captured, we want to make sure that they never tell people what they know. If there's a way to make basically a robot, give them a mission, like Jason Bourne style. Give them a mission, have them do it, and if you capture them, they can't even tell you what they were on mission for because they don't actually know. They were just acting like a robot, which is where that whole idea of the Manchurian Candidate comes in. Manchuria is in China. That's why
before that, the idea of the movie Shockwaves, which is Nazi super soldiers who they're just fucking unbeatable, don't talk, nothing. They're just the best. Same thing. That
And
came
an
out in the
episode of
70s.
American
They love
Dad
super
called
soldiers,
Alias.
Yep.
So that's how this whole program gets started. We need to beat China at the mind control thing. And so the idea is to start to use any method known to man in order to try to convince people to manipulate their brains. Like I said, number one, to try to get enemies to convince you what's actually going on. Number two, to get your own soldiers and agents to never say what's actually going on. So they start the program called Project Bluebird, and that's in the mid to late 50s. And the whole idea is, how can we get people to act the same way that our soldiers acted when they got back from Korea, early 60s. That turns into a more intense project as that leads on, called Project Artichoke. Again, weird name.
I really want to know who they used to think of the names for all of these, because
I don't know.
it has to. Okay, just think of something that if you hear it in public, you won't think is anything crazy. Project Artichoke? That's fucking bonkers.
I would look into that immediately. I think what
Like,
it
what
is
the
they
fuck
get
is that?
13-year-olds to
Well,
tell you
and
their
what I
gamer
would do-
tags, and they just name them after that.
Well, what I would do is if it were me, instead of saying MKUltra Project Artichoke, I'd call it Project Leadership, so no one thinks anything of it like Project Artichoke. That sounds odd.
Yeah.
Let's look into that.
Or take a little note from the best movie of all time, Gone in 60 Seconds. Just give it all women names.
Yeah, exactly.
Project
so no one
Delilah.
knows. Yeah, Delilah, fucking Meredith,
Ruth.
fucking Ruth. So no one knows. Like, all right, these all are just women's names as
Well,
opposed
the
to
other
like,
thing is you're forgetting...
Project Techno Violet, fucking cum shot, and you go.
Well,
we should-
yeah.
Maybe if we see those papers, maybe that's one that's a little.
Right, but you guys are
Interesting.
forgetting why people get those jobs. They think they're cool, badass spy. They want to have Project Rising Phoenix. Like, they name it that
But
because
the whole
guys
point
who
is
do
to
the
make
job.
sure people don't draw attention to them. So
I
you
know,
name
but
it
the whole reason why they name it that
Project
is because they think they're
huge
cool.
fucking glow in the dark cum shot. You
Yeah.
get
That-
get attention.
I'm looking
That's
at.
why I said call it Project. Project
Imagination Doorway.
Yeah, Project Imagination Doorway.
Project
But just
Mayhem.
Project
Mayhem, yeah.
Project Earthworm. Just something boring.
Those would be
Project
good.
Earthworm
But I'm
Jim.
telling you, the guys who work on these projects, they like
Play
to
that
have
recently.
the cool names. They like to think they're working on a cool project because they still have to do it.
'Cause they
and
are.
They can't tell anybody. So that leads us into Project Artichoke. But Project Artichoke is what becomes MKUltra, as far as I understand. Artichoke. I don't know why they called it that. It's
Why
it
even
is.
change it?
Why
Honestly.
even change it from
they,
Bluebird?
They
I
basically
don't
did the
know.
same thing, just
Yeah.
on a higher scale. Like we're
Yeah.
getting now. We
And
just
then
change
the
the
guys
name.
were like, Artichoke doesn't sound as cool as MKUltra. And you look up why they call it MKUltra. It's like it sounded cool. Like they
Sponsored by
literally have
Michelob
no
Ultra.
reason for it. Yeah, like it just.
All I gotta say is no one likes artichokes. Like they're there, but no one's like, oh, I really
wow.
just
Never tried
love a
one.
good artichoke.
I would normally agree with you, and you know how picky of an eater I am, but I had fried artichoke Jewish style in Italy, and my goodness, it was pretty good.
That was a full sentence.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Before you go
Yep,
into
you
detail
heard
about
me
that,
right.
Joe, this is
I'm not
coming
gonna talk
from
about it.
this is coming from the guy
I don't
who
answer
eats
questions.
only bacon, orange juice, and Chardonnay for breakfast type of guy.
It wasn't
you
for breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast guy, but I'm a
You
big
like
dinner guy.
artichoke?
I had fried artichoke
I wouldn't guess
as part
that.
of our dinner. It was delicious.
Yeah, it sounds horrible, dude. You're in
was
Italy, you're
good.
eating fried artichoke? What the fuck is wrong with you? Where'd
It
you
was like
find
a
that?
nice crispy brown flour all opened up like a bloomin' onion, but it was all artichoke, and we all dug into those. We had two
I was
of
there
them.
for a month. All I ate was pizza, linguine clam sauce,
Well, I had a
buffalo
lot of pasta.
mozzarella,
I had a lot of pasta.
and fucking like croissants and
yeah, no, it's great. You
and
guys love
espresso.
eating eggs, so therefore I'm a picky eater, and I like.
No,
trying
there's
new
no eggs in
things.
Italy. There's no eggs in Italy. You don't fucking
I
get
know
eggs there.
that,
know.
but because you like eggs, I have to hate everything. And if I like an artichoke in Ity, all of a sudden I'm lying. Okay,
If I ever go to
You're
Italy, I'll have to
judged. We're
plan it with
judging you.
McDonald's re-releasing the McRib, so I can just live off that the whole time I'm there.
yeah.
I mean,
also,
that's
Dom
fine.
flies under the
McRib's good.
radar because I'm so crazy that Dom acts like he's normal. He eats even less than I do.
He eats only chicken Caesar salad wraps. I know.
yeah, actually,
That's not all I eat.
I also eat French
I've never
fries.
seen anything else.
But no, Joe does like more food than I do.
Anyway.
Except for
But
eggs.
so
So
that's
odd.
that's all to say that Project Artichoke.
I just like eggs and breakfast, so it seems a lot more normal.
Yeah. So, yeah, he likes eggs. That's the whole salve of the whole thing. So Project
Salve?
Artichoke is not the same as MKUltra exactly, but this is the idea. It's an attempt to manipulate a subject to perform an assassination without prior knowledge and without knowledge after the fact. Basically, full-on Manchurian Candidate. Can we program somebody to be ordered to do an assassination, then perform the assassination, and then afterwards have no knowledge of it? So even if they get captured, they actually don't know they did it. So
It's a free
therefore, they
pass.
can't-
I would if they paid me enough money, I'd say sign me up.
Yeah, so obviously they do that.
Well, that's part of the problem of Project Artichoke is
you're not
they
allowed to
just
talk
started
about it.
drugging agents without telling them.
Yes. Once you're involved,
Hey.
you're involved.
You signed up for the job.
The good thing
You
about
gotta get
Artichoke
drugged.
is that at least they used people who worked for the government because they wanted to perform an assassination. When we get to
Yeah.
MKUltra, it's just anybody. That's
Bingo
the difference.
bango. Yep.
Yeah. So Artichoke, they still used actual people who worked for the federal government, but that included, hypnosis, and they also got people addicted to morphine and then had them withdraw from morphine to see if they could make them more susceptible. Just basically, sensory deprivation, sleep deprivation.
Mescaline.
These are going to keep happening in this podcast. These are all the
Mescaline
things-
was the starting drug of them all.
Yeah, mescaline. it's just you're supposed to break someone's mind by making it awful to be alive until their brain stops working.
My
That's
mind
the
has been
idea.
broken by drugs. I can tell you right now, it's
It
very
can happen.
effective.
So unfortunately for Artichoke, they never successfully, as far as we know, pulled off an assassination where the person didn't know before and after. I've heard sources where they believe that this actually did work, even if
dream?
it wasn't pulled off, that they could actually interview somebody and they'd say a code word like the moon is glowing at night, and then they'd have a different personality. But I don't, there's no actual hard evidence for that working anywhere besides just people's hearsay. And also, I think it
guys.
really is
So
more
all
of
of a
a-
sudden they're there and they're like, Woody the Woodpecker, and you're like,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But
Just
you're like
one
totally normal.
word.
Then they say a keyword, and then you go, oh, I'm now assassin, like in those movies. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's the idea. I think
But
it's much more like hypnosis, where you're already suggestible and you say a certain word, you do something, but you're not going to fly to Moscow and perform an assassination. You might just squawk like a chicken for 5 minutes when you're under hypnosis or whatever. That's all they could really do in Artichoke, as far as I'm concerned. But they use a lot of drugs and a lot of torture. And
Yeah,
it's
one
really
of the crazier ones was actually like reports of or a record. Sorry, wrong word.
No, that's good.
They kept an agent on LSD for 77 straight days.
That's too many days to be on
shitballs.
LSD. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Dom, because I want to have that be our final segment. I want to talk about the main thing of fucking LK Ultra, I almost said, MK Ultra, which is LSD. Dylan, go ahead.
And on that note, I think it's time for a commercial break.
I agree. When we come back, we'll talk about the formation of lysergic acid and how it pertains to Project MKUltra. And we'll see ya.
See you in a bit.
Dom,
Oh.
you want to say anything before the break?
You stay classy, San Diego.
Look at this sorry son of a bitch. Broken down on the side of the road.
Now, you can't talk about MKUltra without talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the Phantom AD, ghoul rock and roll extraordinaire, coming to Salem, Massachusetts on June 20th. Go check him out. I guarantee you'll hear him on one of the commercials of this podcast when we're talking about MKUltra.
I hope he's not highly litigious, because I would like to use his song without YouTube striking our video.
Where in Salem's he going?
Kodo.
Of course.
I'm going.
Should we go? You're going?
I'm going. Friday, June 20th.
Let's talk about this, because
All right.
yeah, I can. I'm sure some of my friends are going, and I got places for us to stay.
Sweet.
Sounds great. We should all go there and take LSD.
Joe, we're not talking about you.
Oh, anyways.
I'm
back
getting
to the
closer to
podcast.
being ready to take LSD or shrooms on a small amount.
Not MKUltra amounts that we're going to talk about tonight.
No,
Not
just
for
a little,
77
just a
straight
little
days.
bit.
Not until
not
you
for
lose
77
all
straight
grip on
days.
reality and who you were and who you might be in the future.
I already lost that. But
Flip it.
so go on. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it going.
So anyways, now we're hitting the full thrust of the episode and Project MKUltra. I want to start out by saying that in the year 1938, a man by Albert Hoffman, born in Switzerland, joined a pharmaceutical department of Sandoz Laboratories, where he was tasked with developing, I believe, medication to help hearts and help heart blood pressure and things like that. But he was trying all different stuff. Basically, he was paid to just try stuff out. He comes out with this chemical chain that is nicknamed LSD now. He eats a little bit of it and he goes, we'll see what happens here. It's really a fly-by-night situation. He decides to ride his bicycle back home from work. Very European of you. Don't use a car at the time. And on his ride home, he starts to see the world in a whole new way. And that is now memorialized as Bicycle Day. And that's the first person to ever take LSD. From then, he forms the patent for the company, and that company starts to develop LSD on an industrial scale. So that's 1938. It's before the OSS even forms. But how it comes into our story today is that the United States government decides that this psychoactive drug that just changes your mind states and can kind of dissociate you from reality and make you change the way you feel and think about the world, this might be the drug we need to kind of mind control people in the way we've been talking about this whole episode. So they not only decide to try to acquire it for their experiments in their new Project MKUltra, but they also decide to buy the entire world's supply of it at one time, because this company Sandoz decides, rather not decides, this is part of their production. They develop a large amount of LSD, all the LSD in the world at the time that's being produced, because they're the only ones who make it. And the United States government was afraid that the Soviets were going to buy it. So they buy all the LSD in the world at the time for $400,000. And they buy a contract with the company that says, you're going to sell it to us only. Can you imagine how much LSD that is? And then there's $400,000 in 60. Like, that's basically like $5 million worth of LSD. Like, they bought all of it. They go, send it here first. Do not give it to China.
That's such Cold War bullshit. They're like, well, they must be doing it. Let's just go ahead and do it. They must be doing it.
Yeah, they were afraid that
because
Russia
you have a
was gonna
hunch.
do it.
You're going to spend $400,000 on LSD because you have a hunch that they're going to do it too.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And the funniest part about LSD, obviously, is that the idea was to be purchased by the government for mind control, and ended up opening the minds of millions of young people in the country about why the Cold War is bullshit. So actually, they anti-mind controlled their own population, but that's a whole other story. That's not for today. But they buy all that there, and the company that was basically shipping it in the United States is called Eli Lilly. It's a pharmaceutical company in the United States.
What the fuck? You serious? I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the way that
fucking
LSD works on the human
shit.
brain is it works with the serotonin system of your brain, and how you can, perceive the world differently, feel differently about things. And that company, Eli Lilly, that was the go-between because you can't just, the government doesn't have like a bucket in the back you can just dump $400,000 worth of LSD into. They had to have an actual pharmaceutical company help the process. They, of course, go on to develop, after having LSD for years, developed the drug Prozac, the first majorly marketed antidepressant in the United States, which it works with the serotonin system in your brain. So it's hard not to believe that their LSD work has something to do
selective
with
serotonin reuptake I.
Yeah.
And I've been on Prozac. I know
SSRI,
exactly
yeah, right.
how it works and how
There
it
you
feels. If you guys have questions.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty wild to think that the company that helped...
Yeah, I have a question. What's the
acquire LSD.
heartburn medication I'm thinking of that's apparently not called Prozac?
Zyrtec.
Zyrtec.
Or
No,
Prilosec.
no.
One of the two. I don't
Everyone
know.
listen to me. I've been on more. I am the pharmaceutical drug fucking.
All I know is
don't know why I
Prozac is
answered.
not what I was expecting it to be when I heard
What do
the
they
name.
call people who guinea pig? I've been on more pharmaceutical drugs than anyone here by far.
Definitely.
Yes,
You'd be a
so-
great candidate for Project MKUltra.
Exactly. So Prozac is an SSRI, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. That's what that means.
You nailed the inhibitor.
All from
part of
memory.
this job.
Prilosec OTC is
OTC
that's
is
the
over
one.
the counter.
is phenophenadrine, and it's actually an antihistamine, like a class 3 antihistamine, and
Anti-allergy thing.
Prilosec is a proton pump inhibitor, a PPI, and it's all
PPI.
confusing on other work. But yes,
And what's Zyrtec?
Zyrtec is an antihistamine for seasonal allergies.
Gotcha.
See, I don't even know what an antihistamine is.
And what's
I don't know
Zoloft?
nothing about drugs.
Diphenhydramine is Benadryl.
Dippin' Dots?
So an antihistamine, a traditional antihistamine that you take when you have itchy eyes would be like a Benadryl
Tradhis.
type of drug, which is diphenhydramine, which is not a good one to take. Don't take it anymore. It's been
Makes you
really
sleepy.
prone. It makes you sleepy. Then there's Zyrtec, Allegra, Claritin, fucking all that shit.
There's all kinds of
and
shit.
then there's the stomach acid ones, which are like the Prilosec, omeprazole,
Why do medicines sound so cool?
omeprazole, Pepsid, Zantac.
What's the one that Gary the Cable guy was for a while? Is that Prilosec?
It was probably omeprazole. Most people take, Prilosec I think is omeprazole. So there's the name of the drug that's like animals. Like cats are called felines, not cats.
It's their
So, like-
medical name, and then there. Yeah, he did do Prilosec.
There's the genus or whatever. So Prilosec is omeprazole.
Yeah.
But there's
It's like
there's
Tylenol
fast
is
acting,
acetaminophen.
there's like
It's not
long term
actually called
acting, there's PPIs, there's other ones. Yeah, so drugs are weird.
Anyways, we
but-
can't get. I mean, we are going to talk about drugs, but we can't talk about any more antihistamines because we're into Project MKUltra. So we already established what it is. It starts in 1953, and the idea, rather than creating a Jason Bourne style special agent to do assassinations, they're just trying to figure out how can we manipulate people's minds, like, I don't know, make them our slaves, mind control. Like, all they want to do is be like, well, not Americans, but like other people who aren't American. Can we take their minds, shake them up like a fucking Etch-a-Sketch, and just redraw them to exactly how we want them to do, and then send them back into the world?
It's like the thing where it's the guy's face and you use the pen with the magnets.
Wooly Willy.
Yeah, that's the name.
Exactly. It's like that, except for with your entire brain and psyche and your past and future. The kicker on this one, and not only is that they're trying to do that completely, is that they're going to not tell anybody they're doing it. And they're going to use regular civilians to do it. And it takes place on 80 different institutions over the course of 20 years. And they're doing it at universities. They're doing it in hospitals. They're doing it all over the place. And so it's not just like they took
Spawn
10
Ranch.
guys. Yeah, they're not just taking 10 guys and putting them in a
It's Spawn
fucking
Ranch. It's
cave
Spawn
somewhere.
Ranch.
They're doing it all over the country and in Canada for the course of 20 years, and it was highly classified the entire time.
And I don't know about the Canada one, but
We'll bring up the Canada one.
just for America, over that 20 years, they spent $10 million on this, which adjust that for inflation, as you must do. Over $87 million into basically just drugging people and seeing what happens.
And that's what they paid to do.
And not just drugging.
And don't forget, I should make clear for the story, they also charged people for this because they thought they were receiving health care. So it wasn't just that they paid for it. They actually received money from patients because they thought they were receiving health care. And people were paying to be part of MKUltra without even knowing they were being part of it. That's a fucking psychotic thing to do. Pay me to torture you. You're welcome. We help you very much. It includes, but not limited to, large doses of LSD, larger than any of you and your friends ever do at parties or on a vacation in the desert. Electroshock therapy. Therapy is the fun part of that. Hypnosis. Sleep deprivation.
Also, just want to talk about electroshock therapy. That's
We're going to talk about that for sure. Let's do
no,
it.
but so electroshock therapy isn't just like, oh, we do this thing. It's anesthesia first. Then they literally electrocute different parts of your brain.
They fuck your ass up.
You need anesthesia first. They don't just do it. You know, you have to have anesthesia, and they do this as a form for they treat depression on this.
It's for
They
like
still do it.
severe depression, right? They're supposed to.
Yeah, but
supposed to help with
you
that.
have to have anesthesia first. You're out before they do that.
You don't
It's
want
insane.
one flew at the cuckoo's nest just like
Absolutely insane.
zap you while you're still awake.
Yep,
kind of
it's
thing.
insane. It's like a sort of a lobotomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also includes hypnosis,
Hey,
sleep
Tom.
deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse. This is part of the program. This,
Wait,
how
you have to
can we
pay
make
for
people?
that? You have to
You're
pay
paying
for
for all
that?
this. You're
You have to
paying for
pay
all
to be sexually abused.
You can't just
Yeah,
get
well,
married to the wrong
it's
person.
all how can I
and then,
break
at the end of it,
someone's
you still
mind?
get to star in a Weinstein movie.
The rest of us did that for free.
Dude,
What
one
was
of the
that about?
guys who's interviewed for the documentary, his dad, he was part of the MKUltra experiments, and then he actually ended up basically becoming a vegetable. His name was Harvey Weinstein. I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?"
His fucking name is Harvey Weinstein. I bet there's a bunch of them. I mean,
There's probably a ton of them, but I was just when I watched the documentary, I was like, "That's hilarious." So,
That's
his
great.
fucking name is Harvey Weinstein. Just like not the ShamWow guy, but there was another. It was Tom Cruise with a K.
yeah, Tom Cruise with a K. Yeah, not
Like, I'm Tom Cruise, and I endorse the fucking
this guy's
leather
name was spelled-
rejuvenator. And you're like, you're not Tom Cruise. You are Tom Cruise, but it's Tom
I'm not
Cruise with a
the
K.
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
It's like I'm the Tom Cruise, but it's not the same Tom Cruise.
Yes.
As Tom.
And last but not least includes sensory deprivation, which means blinding you, making you deaf, and the full just good ways to make people go crazy. The idea is
go insane.
break you. Yeah, exactly. They're not thinking I'm going to change your mind. They're thinking I'm going to make your mind into nothing, and then I can build it back up.
Can I
again.
tell you
That's
one
the
thing,
idea.
Joe? The one
Sure.
thing that they're missing is that they're doing so clearly. These are all previous, over 2,000 years
Of torture.
evidence, torture
Yeah.
methods.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one thing they're missing to make you feel better is the fucking table that you lay on, where they tie a rope around your arms and your legs, and they turn the crank and stretch you.
Oh yeah, the
The
rack.
rack.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that would feel good for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would hurt, be perfect. Complete ecstasy.
I'm gonna
And then
come.
it would be death.
I'm going
And
to
then
come
immediately
right now.
stop.
No, you too much. You go. Oh shit, fuck. I'm
My
done.
safe word is I'm not
The
a
guys-
communist agent.
The guy's turning the rack, and you're
Leave it
you're
right
getting
here,
pulled more and
please.
more. And they go shift change. A different guy comes in. And you go, hey, what happened to the cute girl?
I don't mind you cranking down on my bones if you're cute. My safety word is one more turn. Every time. That's fucked up, man.
Wait, was Giles Corey just trying to get off, and his safety?
Charles Corey was a fucking horn dog.
Wait, his safety word was one more. What more?
No,
weight?
more weight.
Wait.
That was his safety word. I didn't know that.
More weight.
I didn't
Like,
know.
I know, we're just gonna make it look good. We're just gonna keep putting rocks on you to make it look like you're gonna confess. Now, scare everyone else into doing it, and just what's your safe word? Oh, it's more weight.
Yeah,
Oh, you got it.
they're actually styrofoam rocks from Legends of the Hidden Temple, so don't worry, they're not real. They just look really scary. It's not a big deal.
Exactly.
So yeah, that happened for 20 years, all over the country as well as Canada, and it happened until 1973, where the project was shut down, and the CIA director at the time ordered them not to form a way and pass on their findings after 20 years of state-sanctioned torture on American citizens. He also said, "Yeah, go ahead and destroy all the evidence of that. I'm the CIA director. You shall do that." Thank fucking God that the project was so large they couldn't destroy all the evidence even if they tried. And it wasn't until 1975 that a subcommittee was formed by the Senate called the Church Commission, which I was like, why is it called the Church Commission? The guy's name was Church.
Because the guy's not saying, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, why is it called Church Commission? Anyways, they uncovered it, and it wasn't until another 2 years where it was a federal lawsuit form where the Freedom of Information Act came out, and they were able to uncover this evidence of it happening this whole time, and they were trying to rectify the whole situation, and it basically only, I don't know, it's like 5% of everyone who's involved ever formed a lawsuit, and they only paid out less than 5% of people. It was like, hey, here's 25 grand. I'm sorry your grandma went from a lovely lady to a vegetable, but it's really her fault because she should have known better. So fuck
because
you.
she signed up and she paid us the entire time.
Yeah, here's a couple bucks for you, and that's that. But I do want to get into the nitty-gritty of the Canadian experience, but Dylan, please go ahead. I've been talking
So
for a while.
pre-Canadian experience, I'm talking 60s, so pre that.
Yeah. I also have one last American story before you get to Canada.
So it's a conspiracy,
No rush, let's hear it.
But it was a book, and there was a film about this, and it's called Chaos. Does this ring a bell?
Yeah, is it spelled like Chows?
That's how you spell chaos.
That's how
Okay,
you
yeah,
spell
so
chaos.
And wait, everyone, stop laughing. Stop laughing. This isn't funny.
I can't. He's just so stupid sometimes.
I know. But the reason that I think that's even funnier is that one of my favorite games growing up was Kung Fu Chows. And
yeah, Kung Fu Chows, the
Kung Fu
Xbox
Chows,
arcade game. Yeah,
Xbox
that's great.
Arcade, and it took a certain friend of mine to tell me,
It was like Super Smash knockoff kind of.
yeah,
thing.
hey, dumbass, it's Kung Fu Chaos. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Hey, I didn't know the word for a long time because when Brennan was living at Cook Lane playing God of War with the Blade of Chaos.
The Blade of
he was like-
Chows.
He was like, yeah, it's the Blade of Chows. And I was like, oh, that's what that, oh, Chows. First time I learned that word was him making a joke.
yeah, so
not
I
realizing
learned this
I'm
in like fifth
yeah,
or sixth
Brendan,
grade.
I'm 9. I'm not going to understand that it's how it's supposed to be chaos.
Yeah, I was around that when I was playing Kung Fu Chows, and then someone's like, it's Kung Fu Chaos, and that game fucking was so good. I might play it tonight if I can find it.
You can.
I hope I can. It was so good. I played it on PlayStation 1, I think, or PS2.
Definitely
And it was
PS2.
so good. But the
Actually,
book is
Xbox
called
360, but
the
okay.
book is called Chows: Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the '60s.
I didn't even think about
was-
bringing up Manson, but of course he's filtered in all this as far as
So,
LSD
Charles-
goes and violence.
So according to this book and Charles Manson in jail and all these things, is that the reason
reliable
that
source,
he
the
did
guy
the
with the
Tate,
Nazi swastika carved into his head.
No, I know, but the motive for the Tate La Bianca murders, so Sharon Tate and whoever the fuck La Bianca is, and in Spawn Ranch and all other shit, is that like, is that it started with like, okay, this cult guy who has like a ranch in California in the desert-ish area. He was originally grabbed by the CIA because, like, you're really
fun.
good, really fun, and really good at getting people to like lock into your mindset and your ideas and all this stuff.
He's a good
so we want
manipulator.
to you are exactly who we want to be in the CIA, and we're gonna give you LSD and figure this out. So the Tate murder was secretly linked to the CIA at Spawn Ranch,
Yeah.
and the Manson murder situation was was due to that Charles Manson
They
was
sanctioned it, basically.
an active participant, whether it been consensual or not, in MKUltra, and that's
Yeah.
that Charles. I'm a little bit surprised, Joe, that you didn't think of this yet, but you did, but you didn't. No, I'm not trying to shit on you, but like
Oh,
Charles
go ahead.
Manson. Charles Manson is the
He's a huge part of it. Yeah, I totally hear that.
is the pinnacle, apex, or whatever it is of MKUltra is that like
He's the star.
He was the star of MKUltra, and no one can prove it. But there's a lot of evidence that says that he was this, and he was part of it, because they used him because like you're exactly the person
You're doing what
that we're
want
trying
to
to
do.
create.
Yeah.
But we want to create you.
How do you
times
do what
a
you do?
million?
Yeah.
Because how do you do it? How do you take all these beautiful fucking 2-year-old women and
Don't say two.
make them? No, I'm saying that because it's funny.
Yeah, but say something
all right.
even funnier, which is like 16.
Well, 16 directionless, homeless, whatever, children.
Yeah, they're children.
And make them like and worship you. We want to do this.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can't take successful
I'm bringing awareness.
CIA agents.
but-
You have to take like 16-year-old runaways that dads used to rape them. That's how you
Bingo,
do it.
bingo. So
That-
I'm
they're
bringing
missing
awareness.
a lot of steps there.
Well,
yeah,
I'm bringing by saying that I'm bringing awareness to sex trafficking because it's so
I agree.
fucked. And
The government
and
thinks
Charles
everything's just
Manson.
so
They
cut
saw
and
him.
dried.
They
It's
saw
not.
him doing this naturally without any drugs.
He's doing it natty.
And they're like, yeah, and they're
He's
like,
a
how
natty
can we?
daddy.
How can we make more of you, Charles Manson?
Natty Daddy Manson.
We need more.
Yeah.
The U.S. government needs more Charles Mansons. Let's get
Yeah,
it
so if you
done.
read Helter Skelter, which was his, like
Great
the
Beatles
book of
song.
the lead prosecutor, like the whole thing, Operation
Did you know Rob
Chouse.
Zombie does this cover of Helter Skelter with Marilyn Manson? It's not that great, but I just want you to know that.
It doesn't. I never
I don't
heard
like
of it, but
Marilyn
it
Manson.
makes so much sense that they would do that and be like, "We're
Yeah.
edgy." But I wanted before you keep going, Dylan. I wanted to say this.
No,
as
I'm done. I just want to say
Okay.
that Charles
Well, I
Manson
appreciate
is a
that, yeah.
big part in my mind
yeah,
of
MKUltra.
MKUltra.
But yeah,
Thank
I
you,
didn't
Joe.
want to interrupt you. I just wanted to not to go on a new diatribe of what I was going to say. I just wanted to say that this is a podcast moment for me, with me and you combined. MKUltra is
Yes.
the nexus of it is real. The conspiracy
nexus
did
mean?
happen. The meeting point, like the zenith kind of thing. Like this is where it all comes
But
together.
Nexus, Apex, and
yeah.
Yeah, Joe,
And
Pinnacle also does work.
Pinnacle, are
Yep.
they all the same?
Nexus is more of a meeting point. It doesn't have to be the top, but Apex and Pinnacle has to be the top. But Nexus is just where it comes together. Sometimes it comes together at the top. Anyway,
I just want to be clear about this.
yeah. So the Nexus, when it's at the top,
Are you also
it's
pre-checked
the
about
Apex.
it?
But what I'm trying to say is that
Don't worry,
this
it was stupid.
is the episode I've been waiting for, where literally conspiracies are real. This is it. Everything you say about Manson, I believe it. Everything you say about all this shit, I believe it because I know that it is real. So once everything's proven to be real, anything that comes into it, I believe it because you haven't disproven it to me at all. All you've done is proven to me that it is happening constantly and it's happening all the time. And the idea,
Wait,
all these
me?
fucking little projects. Well, I mean, the
In general.
you,
Oh,
but
okay. The whole
the royal you, but yeah, but,
like, wow,
you know
I
what
did
mean?
my
Is-
job.
Is that like? This is one that Skeptical Joe is taking a back seat because this shit is real as fuck.
real
It
as fuck.
happened for
Well,
decades
Project
and
Blue
decades.
Book and this are the only ones that
Well-
you agree with.
yeah, exactly. So it does happen.
No, Project Blue Book is real, just like this.
You're right, but this is more real because the evidence is.
If I
far
were to
harder.
talk about flat Earth or about the ice wall, you go, Dylan,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
fucking,
but,
you're sucking dick too much.
And also the
I'd be like,
motivation
"All right,"
is the motivation is there for this one too.
Yeah, this
But
one.
yeah.
So to emphasize and to reiterate and to
But whatever you do,
Pinnacle.
don't say the thing you just said it again because you're winning right now. And
no, but
and
to
don't.
refill in what you said, I have no word for that because I'm too fucking dumb.
Uh-huh.
Is that what Joe is saying? Is that for those of you who don't understand his big words, because I don't either, is that this is the one topic out of 197 episodes of this podcast, is that we both agree that this is not a conspiracy. This is a fucking
No, it is a conspiracy. But
no, this is a
conspiracies are real.
conspiracy that
That's
is
real.
100% fucking real.
Absolutely. And there's things we don't know about it that I also believe are real that we don't know.
Yeah,
Like
because
Manson's
all we know
involvement.
is what's blacklined on the fucking paper.
Yeah.
And
Well, imagine what we
what's-
don't
so
know.
there's so
survived?
much more to this. you
Yeah,
know?
after the order to destroy all evidence, we know what happened 7 years later. So, I imagine all that shit. Yeah, that.
But this
plus-
one fucking happened.
I mean, part of this project is
Everything I ever said also fucking happened, but Joe doesn't think so.
Right.
But
This
this one
one's
is the
real.
one where we're like, this this really
a lot
fucking,
more evidence.
This really fucking did.
And
for
that
sure.
plus, I mean, another example of it is that in San Francisco, the CIA started hiring prostitutes.
Oh, dude, yeah. This is the one I was going to talk about.
Dom, do you want to talk about that?
Because
You can
it
go.
has-
You can
it
go
has
ahead.
the
Yeah, Dom,
best-
you would know that.
This is
we
one of the things
spent-
you would never believe it. And it's like, no, it happened. It's
We
insane.
spent a little bit of time at the beginning talking about who the fuck makes up these names. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whoever thought this one up, fucking nailed it. Operation Midnight Climax.
I love that one. It's like Operation Deep Throat. So funny.
Dom,
you
do
know?
you want to take this? Please take this.
Yeah, I got this
Go
one.
for it, because I had to
Help us
mention
out.
this.
Where they
as far as
literally-
if someone told you
Yeah,
about
the
this,
old
you'd be like,
Midnight
"Shut the fuck
Climax.
up!" But it's
So
like,
funny.
nope, it happened. It totally happened.
Yep.
Let me just get ready to talk about this specific.
So, Dom,
topic.
can you
Well, be
tell us
ready now.
before? Well, as you're cracking your beer, can you tell us what midnight means and what climax means?
To you,
Midnight is the middle of the night, and climax is like
What
the
is
movie
the night?
theaters they have inside Jordan Furnitures. You have to
Well,
walk
I'm
through the
giving
entire
some
store
more.
to get to them.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, go on.
And the CIA they had several safe houses, fucking everywhere probably, but in San
probably
Francisco,
went in Marlboro, honestly.
they set
Jordan's
up as
Furniture.
yeah, it's called the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah,
Whoa. Wait a minute, guys. I'm a grandson of a Knights of Columbus.
No, they didn't
You're
start
already-
doing it
you're
until
compromised.
not
Be
great.
careful
You're already compromised.
with that.
To be fair, I
KFC?
meant to say who cares?
Let's go.
But they set up fake brothels inside their safe houses.
At the Knights of Columbus.
Hired, yes,
the Clits of Columbus.
no,
Yes.
it's the Knights of Columbus in San Francisco.
Wait, I feel like I'm off topic right now. I'm getting confused. There were
Yes.
secret brothels at the Knights of Columbus.
No, this is part of MKUltra.
So, what's the
Operation
Knights of
Midnight
Columbus have to do with
Climax.
this?
You brought it up as a possible safe house for the CIA, which I do agree with you, but we're not going to. We're going to move on from that.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're going to let Dom tell the story now.
Thank you, Joe.
No
so they
problem.
set up these fake brothels. They hired prostitutes, and they got these, the kind of men that frequent brothels come in,
Johns.
and Johns, and they, with the thought of, well, they'll be embarrassed to say, well, this happened while I was at a brothel, so they'll never talk about what we're going to do to them. And
It's
they
like
would
serial killers killing prostitutes. Like no one will care because it's weird. So
Yeah.
who cares? So no one will report the crime.
So they,
But they were
secretly
on the
dosed-
payroll from the CIA. Mm-hmm. They hired prostitutes
in buildings owned by the CIA
with the one-sided mirrors. where they
one-sided
can
mirrors,
see
so you
in.
could see in, and they would drug these guys with LSD and just like watch to see what happened. And then
Maybe
when
write it
it
down.
wears off, or not even when it wears off, just when they're done washing the guys, go, yeah, there's the door. Just going out of here. We got what we needed out of you.
They never followed up.
You'll
The
never
guys
say
could have gone
anything.
and killed
Can I
themselves
say
the next
one
morning. They
thing?
don't care.
Is because like where this started was mescaline in Auschwitz, and I gotta say a couple things because I'm very nervous about doing these drugs, and I will eventually.
Yeah,
is
go ahead,
that
man.
I really, really would not want to do psychedelics at Auschwitz.
That's a bad place to do
Yeah.
it. It's all about location and the people you're with, and Auschwitz and
just
prisoners
like
in a
real
Nazi camp.
estate.
It's not a good place to do
No,
it.
but you're right. But I just want to clarify, Auschwitz in the 40s, if I was there, would be a terrible time to do it, and Auschwitz now would be a terrible time to do it.
Actually, Auschwitz, I think for the foreseeable future, terrible time to
Terrible
do
place to do it.
hallucinogens.
Yeah.
Terrible place to do it.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Just saying, and that's
I
when they were
agree.
doing it there. So it's like, hey, Nazis, you ever think that if you want to get the benefit of this, maybe don't give
That's a bad
Auschwitz
trip, man.
inmates.
Yeah, but you're
these
forgetting all
drugs-
the Nazi people were on meth, so they didn't know better.
Yeah, they didn't know
It
any
was
better.
it was called
Panzer
Pervitin.
chocolates.
No, it's called Pervitin. Their meth was branded Pervitin. Just so you know, it wasn't called.
They
meth,
were
it was called
perving hard.
They're
But-
perving a ton.
But I wouldn't. Auschwitz now and Auschwitz then. I'm not sure I'd want to be on any sort of
Auschwitz
psychedelic.
before then? We don't know. Could have been nice to do.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The place
Yeah,
was-
before
the
it was
place
built,
wasn't
they
on the
built
map
a
until
It was in the
1939.
mountains. It might have been nice.
After
but,
that, no
But
longer
since
fun.
19 probably 01, maybe not a good place to do.
Yeah, I would say
psychedelics.
Yeah, you don't want to do it from
Not a
then
good
until
time.
now and for the foreseeable future for sure. I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, so they didn't factor in that hey, maybe your inmates, which they called them, aren't having the full experience because they're there. Just saying.
Yeah, they're not really communing with nature and the one life form.
Not really. So it's like, hey, look, dumbasses, you stupid fucks.
Plus, you're hungry.
Maybe don't give them acid in a place like this because this isn't a good. The vibe is honestly.
The vibe's way off.
The vibe's off.
You have to admit that the vibe is way off.
Super off.
Yeah.
Super fucking off.
Yeah. I think in their defense, I love to defend Nazis. Clip that.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think they were trying to have them have any kind of spiritual experience or like some kind of like interesting mental breakthrough. They're trying to like mind control them and torture them. So then, yeah, I guess if you want to torture somebody, give them acid in Auschwitz. That's a pretty torturous situation. I'd rather not be on
pretty
acid in Auschwitz.
But they weren't looking for that. They're looking for like something else. So like,
yeah.
But also those people, which I think is absolutely hilarious because it really is funny.
What is
that the guards would go like, hey honey, how was your day? Oh yeah, my day was good. I had a great day at work. I'm working very hard.
I woke up.
And it's like
I played rock paper scissors with a cockroach this morning. So
yeah,
that was
but
fun.
they did that as guards, and it's like
fucking thing beat me again.
That there's that
like you did.
The delusion of
Thank you
this
very
is
much.
like. It's just so insane.
Hey, I guess I got 2 teeth.
It's
If you want
so
to knock those
insane.
out
It's
too.
funny that they can possibly go home to their wives and be like,
They still
"I had a
study
great-
it today.
I had a great day at work. My superior officer said that I'm doing a great job and I'm feeling great.
Yeah,
let's
it's
give
like-
the kids a bunch of candy. Like,
It's
holy
still
shit.
Yeah, I mean, as awful. I mean, 100% awful as that time is in the
Yeah,
world.
no question. But
it's
people
still
still
studied
found
today of
happiness.
like how
Unreal.
can people do this and be normal people? Because like, wouldn't you be insane? And then also all
That's
the
pretty crazy.
experiments that we're going to talk about and have talked about. How can you can never do these experiments again? So people still study the Nazi experiments. Be like, well, we're not allowed to do this, but like they already did it, so can't we kind of like
Yeah,
check
that
their
toothpaste
notes?
sugar cube thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like can't we kind of? It's like it's the same as sugar cubes and toothpaste.
That's
Cycle
yeah.
on B.
That's total scientist frame where they're like, we know that's terrible. Also, when they're doing it, it's like, but the data's there.
The data's there.
It really is a waste to.
And I agree with them.
just
Although
not
it is
look at
awful, it's like we should know. You want to know because that way it never happens again. But yeah, definitely be
Well,
part
it's
of
fucked
it.
up. But like, so like sodium fluoride was used to kill, to kill our ancestors in Auschwitz and other things, and then same
Well,
with
not
eye
mine.
drops.
Not mine either.
Mine.
But
Yeah,
No, definitely
mine.
No, well, definitely. No, so mine were.
Mine Kampf.
I don't know if they were there, but like,
hey, John from Sterling Street. Hope you like the podcast so far.
no. So I have ancestors who I'm very separate related
just
to.
to warn you, we cannot do 10 minutes on the Holocaust. We need to get back to MKUltra.
No, I know.
But please
I know,
go ahead.
I know.
I'm just
No,
warning.
I'm just saying is that like
Go ahead.
they use things like sodium fluoride to kill people.
Sure,
And then
yeah, it's
eye drops that made your allergies better were found out there because they're trying to make people have better vision to.
You hear that,
make
stoners?
soldiers
You
better.
owe a lot of credit to Joseph Goebbels and
It's
the
fucked
Angel of
up.
Death.
Anyways, it's so fucked up. It's fucked, but that's yeah. Anyway, so go on.
Yeah, I'd say that's the silver lining of the whole thing. But speaking of that, perfect dovetail once again. The person who headed the experimentation at the McGill Institute in Montreal, Canada, is one of these scientists.
I've been there.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Well, please talk about that as we go on.
Yes, I have been to McGill.
He's one of the scientists who went to Nuremberg after the war and interviewed the Nazi scientists who were part of
The dead guys on the fucking who were hanged.
Anything to say for
Go.
yourself?
I mean,
They plead
seriously,
the
you're being
fifth.
hanged right now. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I have been to McGill.
It's like Jesus on the
he's just
cross. They
swinging.
stab him, but Jägermeister comes out.
Jaeger bombs.
Very nice. I do think it's close to a commercial break time. What do you guys think?
Well, this is supposed to be the last segment, but if you want to take a commercial break here,
I
I'm
think
happy to
another
do
break's
it.
going to happen.
I totally hear you. On this break, how the Nuremberg experiments and trials happen to do with MKUltra, brought to you by Flonase nasal spray. You're welcome.
Would you look at this, folks? You heard it here first. Rollerbone is back on the road. just not under its own power. It's still got a 4-cylinder, but now it's being towed by my Ranger. We'll give you an update as soon as we get one.
Welcome back to Dylan Joe Basin Podcast. My name is Dylan, GR the First, and I'm so glad to have you guys tell me 5 episodes.
This is the 5th episode in a row.
So if I do another 3, then I get to pick the.
No. New law now.
Oh,
no,
fuck
that was
off.
the deal. Not
right.
every time.
All right,
Not every
so
time.
If you do we'll think of something. We'll think of something, but it's gonna be a little different.
Maybe it's 4. I don't know. I like where we're going.
Do I get
though.
a ribbon or a badge? A DJBP fucking.
It's your
I'll give you,
podcast.
I'll tell you what. If you show up 8 weeks in a row, I'll get a trophy for you.
It's you. You're not Andrew Thrain. You're not getting a bonus for showing up to your own podcast.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Dude, I got a bonus for showing up to fucking high school, and it was graduating 180 out of 195.
With a nose full
That's
of glacier freeze.
a bonus I got. Yeah, I know. So I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then ask it after you take a sip. That's great. Hey, everybody,
take a
listen
sip.
up. Let's do some good dead air here.
Hold
Oh,
on.
everybody, shut up.
Oh,
Look, I'm a big Joe. I know you fucking are doing your fucking shit because you run the podcast and you edit
This
it. And you
is
do your thing.
great. Now
But
we're
sometimes
gonna
you
fight.
can't.
This is awesome.
Sometimes you can't
I
control.
let you go off for 20 minutes during our third commercial
Somehow
break about
you're sort of a
masturbating,
type A,
and now
but
I'm
you're
the
not.
bad guy.
I don't
Okay.
fucking know.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah,
I haven't eaten
so,
dinner yet. Sue me. It's 10:30.
I'll sue you. So
I love you.
How many virginities do you guys have?
Well, in my mind, I only had the one and I lost it, but I know that you have a new kind of like celestial math, like sacred geometry or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
I want the book on your math. I want to study before I answer the question.
And
Can
for
I
the record,
explain
Dylan, this has
real
been brought up on
quick?
the podcast before, so this is not a new concept. You've had this
No, it is
exact
not.
same conversation on the podcast. You would know that if you ever listened
that's
to it. But
fine. It's funny. I had 17, and then I went years, and then like if you,
I love it. It's because I said he shouldn't do it. He's going to do it even more now.
No,
then
it's
you
because
have-
you
and
said
I'm
you're
gonna-
gonna
let
do
it-
it
let him do it.
once a
You're
year.
definitely gonna do it.
You
Let him
don't
do it.
have those, but all of a sudden you go. If you go 365 days without having sex, then
Right.
it adds to that. So all of a sudden my 17 turns to 18.
Right,
And
yeah.
then
That, so
but
far,
if you have
I'm
sex
with you.
one time in that, then it's completely fine. You don't have a virginity anymore.
Even the first time you do it, it resets? Or it's if you have to wait for 5 years
If you just
after?
have it once a year, you don't have a virginity because it's a 365 day
Gotcha.
thing.
So it's like a subscription. You re-up on it, and then you don't have it anymore.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
can
I
get
know.
it back if you wait long enough. It's like having to get your oil changed or whatever. And it's actually a lot like getting your oil changed.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
Does it
So-
count if I have a bet going and the Red Sox fuck me over? Does that count?
I don't think it counts.
No, because we're. a
Because it
global
didn't feel good.
podcast.
It doesn't feel good you didn't
no.
do it right.
No, Joe, you're wrong. It's because we're a global podcast, so not everyone's
Oh.
about the Red Sox.
So it could be about Manchester City losing the UEFA championship.
No, it has to be a universal thing.
Could be about
like,
Finnish baseball. Could be about cricket. Could be a fucking cricket bet.
No, it could be like how many
cricket
days you go
bat?
without a school shooting, something like that. It's
So
not-
0. That's
right.
bad. It resets every day.
Yeah.
That's not
It
a
has
good
to-
indicator.
It has to reset. Like,
What if it
yeah,
happens
it's-
3 times in one day in Iowa, Wisconsin, and Florida?
Well, then you have to really put that in the calculator.
All right, well, we'll do that after we get to the rest of the podcast. We're talking about MKUltra here, folks, today, and the Dylan Joe.
You wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't
but
know
we
it,
are.
but we do all kind of act like we've already gone through the process here.
Do you guys think that if you get like a blowjob or a finger up your ass, it can reduce your virginities down from 17 to like 16?
I say P and V or P and A or doesn't count, and I'm gonna leave it.
No,
at
but
that.
if you go extreme, maybe you can reduce.
What's
the
extreme mean?
virginities.
Like A and A?
No, like your girlfriend.
A and A. I put my ass in your ass.
Well, like, all right, butt sex.
but butt sex is two
Butt
butts
sex
fucking.
might take off a year, so then all of a sudden I have 16. And then
All right, Dylan, it's over. It's over. Done.
all right, fine. It's funny.
It was very. We half an hour. I've still been laughing. It's better than any joke I've ever told in my life. So
cool,
fucking
but you
get
don't
over
think
it
this is
already.
funny?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Let's get
I'm
back
trying
to the.
I'm just trying to calculate who I am as a person.
Let's get back to what we were talking about, which is
And I'm
Nazi
trying to I'm trying to
science
calculate.
experiments.
trying to calculate my value in this world, and it's all about sex.
It's all it is. That's
That's
salt and
it.
pepper.
So I'm like, all right, what is my value of my, like, if Joe, if you were to write my obituary and read it, what's my value? And it's like, all right, 17 virginities, and then I had.
Okay. No, I'm not standing for it. I'm not standing for it.
And
We're
then,
done. We're done.
then all of a sudden,
Help me out here. This is. I mean,
no.
come
Then
on.
all of a
You gotta
sudden, a
help me
girl
out.
put on.
I'm
the
not. That's
leather-
why I'm not
This is-
adding to it.
This is your
No,
podcast.
then all of a sudden, a girl
Dom, anything?
put on the leather mask
Put
with
a
the
kibosh
zippers on
on
the
this.
eyes and the mouth. Like,
You
does
think
that
I have any
count?
control
Does
over
that
this? It's not
count
a
for?
toilet wine. I'm not
That's
running
gonna.
it.
No,
If I
neither
put on that
teammate.
mask, with the zippers on it, that's gonna count for a year. So I reduced it to 16.
I think I can mute him.
I'm just asking because we're professionals. I feel like this
No,
is-
it was funny when we
had
said
to
it during
set
the
the
commercial
standard.
break for 20 minutes, and I let you get it all out. And I even let you do it again in the recording, and you still
I don't
you
think
can't.
I don't think it's funny. I'm just.
You know, you're being
self-conscious.
greedy at this
You
point.
okay?
You're being greedy. You are.
Yeah.
I'm just self-conscious. I just want to know where I'm at.
You're at the Dylan Joyson podcast now. You're in the basement right now. And you know what? You're gonna die.
Welcome to the
We all
jungle.
are. We're all dying. It's fine, John. I get you.
The Nazis had a lot of bad decisions they made, and one of them was torturing people for science.
For virginity status.
They were
every
adding
every
hymens.
single segment is the most smooth transition ever.
Anyway, so this particular professor, he's a doctor actually. He was part of the group of scientists that went and interviewed these Nazi doctors that were doing these awful, unspeakable experiments on people, and they were like,
the BDSM.
yeah, and they were like, these are
He's a
pretty-
classic BDSM guy.
Obviously, we hated that you did it, but again, we like where your head's at. We're going to bring it back to America and do it that way. One such people ran the institution, the institution, rather, McGill in
McGillicuddy's?
Montreal, Canada.
No, Dom. Just in Montreal. I've been there.
Montreal, and I don't know if you know this, the original building that was called, Allen's Institution for Doctorate, or whatever, we'll put it in later. It was called Ravenscrag, which sounds like an Edgar Allan Poe haunted castle, which it did
is.
become.
I went there.
Ravenscrag.
I went there for my first honeymoon where I didn't have sex.
So you are familiar with what this building looks like, Ravenscrag.
I do, because a Toyota Tacoma with a 4-cylinder with an intake floored it.
Now he's doing it.
So cool.
You understand this is your podcast too, right? You know that, obviously.
I'm Don't worry.
Actually, I would say it's more yours than anybody's because your name is first.
The first.
It comes in. It's
You made the
alphabetical.
email. So
It's
you said
Why are we
alphabetical
adversarial?
order.
Literally,
It's
you and I are going to
alphabetical
team up
order.
on this podcast. You know more about MKUltra than I do, and you're going to spend the rest of the
alphabetical
podcast
order,
doing the
Joe.
virginity
It's
joke.
You
not
paid
about
for the
that.
first 3 years.
It's because I don't like it,
Riverside.
right? But I thought I liked it for a long time. I don't know how long do I have to like it before
It's
it's
alphabetical order.
You made us our first mascot.
D is a good letter. D is the number 3. A, B, C, D,
No.
4.
So there's a
D
haunted
is
castle
4.
in Montreal. They end up buying it out for psychological research, and that particularly psychiatric hospital gets funded for an experiment by an organization
cool.
called Americans for the Ecology of Humanity, which is a shell corporation funded by the CIA. So
Very cool.
the corporation is
Yeah.
basically like helpeverybodyout.com. And it's funded by the CIA. They are supposed to help people in the area, including a senator's wife. It's about 90
course.
people go there and do these experiments. She went in for postpartum depression. They ended up giving
Classic.
this lady LSD and sensory deprivation therapy for about a fucking year. I mean, it's crazy what happened up there. They did the exact same experiments that all these other places did, but they did them only more so, including electroshock therapy, not the usual way like Dylan said,
Therapy. Yep.
anesthesia 2-3 times a week. Nope. Awake 6 times a day, zapping the shit out of them, including giving a weird housewives LSD, giving them mescaline. As far as that goes, they had 2 things called not deprogramming, deplanifying, whatever, which happened to be
Deflowered is the word.
deflowering, which takes the 17 years off of it. if you're catching the math in the episode, take that off. And they called something
Not
called psychic
joking.
driving, which was what they did after that was they would break you
Oh,
down
yeah.
by making you, lose your mind, She said in her experiment, she was a senator's wife, by the way. They shot LSD into her arm, and she felt like she was like,
I'm
I don't know what's going on.
If you can't do this.
Oh, and they
it.
paid. The senator had to sell his house to pay for the treatment because it wasn't covered under insurance.
Back
As they
before
tortured his wife.
senators were doing insider trading. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was looking outside the window, and she said, I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was trapped. I saw the squirrels outside, and I said, those aren't the squirrels. I'm the squirrel. I was like, okay, she's a lot of LSD.
Okay, got it. Yep.
But LSD wasn't famous at the time. They also took a 18-year-old boy who he thought that he had leg pains, and he was anxious. And they said, you're making that up. It's all in your head. They sent him there.
Did they ask him the most important question?
What's that?
How many virginities did he have?
Oh, my God. I'm kicking you. I'm kicking you. What the fuck are you doing?
How fucking many?
We're almost
virginities did he have?
done. We're almost done. We're gonna wrap. It's all good. You get the joke. We did it. We did it.
Just ignore it. It's fine. Just go.
It'd be easier to ignore.
Just don't
if you
say
fucking Help me out. Don't you want to talk about MKUltra with me? Let's do it. Let's
Yes,
be a team.
I'm just wondering.
Let's be a team.
I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Not trying to give everyone their worst day at their job.
I'm not. I really am not. Joe, I'm not trying to bother you.
All right.
I
fine.
just want to know how many virginities he's
I
had.
don't know any of these fuckers. They were coming out of the hall with a huge donkey dip.
Big ass
No.
cum shots.
Okay.
Okay then. Okay then.
Okay,
Just go.
fine.
Just go. Okay.
cry.
Okay. Okay. Just go.
The guy, he got sent there for restless leg syndrome, basically, and they put him to sleep for 25 days
RLS.
straight. Yeah, exactly. Part of their experiment, after breaking them down, was
have
trying
that.
to re-educate them without them knowing. And this is, on paper, not a re-education program. It's just that they would pump them full of drugs, scare the shit out of them, and then they would keep them asleep in a comatose state for 20 days. And they'd play a tape repeating the same sentence to them over and over again every single day.
The sentence was, how did anyone come
How
out of
many
the halls and have a huge cum shot? Did anyone have a huge cum shot during this whole thing?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, so go on. I'm sorry, just go on. We're wondering.
Just hold on for one more day.
Are we done? Is it final thoughts? Yeah, I mean,
No.
done.
Let's wrap it up. So,
I'm
so
almost done.
MKUltra.
All right, here's the summary. Shit was fucked. Yo, MKUltra bad.
One guy, they kept him asleep for 75 days.
Thanks,
he
dude.
never woke up.
Yeah,
and he
insane.
went home afterwards. And they sued him. It was a whole fucking thing. I was saying,
They sued
the
him?
aggro crag, it was the worst version of MKUltra. And it wasn't even in America. It was in Montreal, Canada. One of the ones with the senator's wife. And the kid that they pumped full of fucking LSD, he tried to run away, and they grabbed him and they dragged him back in, kicking and screaming. It wasn't just like a medical thing. It was like a prison experiment done in Montreal, Canada, at the aggro crag at Crow Ravens Crag Manor. It's fucking crazy. And all these people
Crazy.
sued, and none of the lawsuits got paid off besides the senator's wife, who got paid like 10
Always.
grand, and that's it. And
Nice.
Canada and the United States both decided to ignore the whole thing. And the interview that I saw was a guy being like, they're definitely going to have to go for it. I mean, they're going to be tried for war crimes. And that was like in 1975. He's like, it's definitely going to, they're going to pay out. Now we're in 2025 and never got paid out. So, yeah, that's basically it. The program was ended, and then now it's the best example of government-sanctioned torture of U.S. citizens without telling them since the Tuskegee experiments. Awesome. So whenever you think
Nothing
conspiracies
really
don't happen,
happened that like you can't give people LSD because the simple fact that if you have a initiative when you're giving someone LSD, like I want you to hate Russians, they all of a sudden go, I fucking love everyone in nature. And life isn't about
exactly. LSD doesn't work like it
Life-
doesn't.
work
life,
at all.
life
Doesn't work like
isn't,
that.
life
Yeah.
isn't about okay, cool. So if it weren't for 200 years ago, which was the Industrial Revolution, this is all made up and fucked up. So LSD will do that and tell you like this is all a bunch of bullshit. Property ownership, corporations.
That's right.
doesn't
That's
work
right.
like
You get the
fucking-
issue because all the people that are like running it, they're like, oh no, we're gonna give all these lower level even when it was still
Yeah.
inner CIA.
To make
They
them
never
really
try
want
for
them to-
themselves, by the way.
They
If
never-
they
they
tried
know.
it one time, they
So when
know
they give it to an agent,
it's
and
not
the
gonna
agent,
work.
and they're like, "Oh, tell me about Russia," and they go, "Well, all these lights," and they're like, "Oh, we clearly didn't give them enough."
Yeah, bingo. So like,
They
so
gave
that's
him
it.
a
So
lot,
like,
by
they're
the
like,
way.
hey, we want these people to think what we think because we are retarded fuckers. And then you give them this drug that makes them connected to nature, literally, and spiritualism, and literally beat by beat heart rate variation of love and kindness and greenery and fucking everything else.
And it's like what Dylan said about taking LSD at Auschwitz. If you're in a fucking haunted castle in a mental hospital and getting injected into your veins a heroic dose, as they'd say, that's not the
Heroic.
right time to do it. It's
No.
just not good.
It's like, oh, we're going to think differently. It's like, no, it creates new pathways in the brain that make you feel like you're a kid again, and you see things that you didn't see before as an adult because they
brand
get
new way.
smashed down and hammered due to stresses as an adult in modern society, which will kill anybody. And then all of a sudden you become a fat, bald, corporate fucking fuck whose wife leaves you.
Like the people who are funding the program.
Yeah, well, all those people. And it goes, hey, this makes us more connected with actually the planet Earth and spiritualism and this. And they go, well, we're not giving enough money. We're not giving them enough dose. Yeah, so that's really it. It's
Just
like,
need
okay,
more.
you picked the wrong fucking drug. Coke is
Wrong
probably
drug.
better for that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like they found out that something happened and like that should be everything now.
Yeah, money all of a sudden is nothing. Nothing but, yeah, love and kindness and spiritualism and green leaves and bugs and birds and bees and whatever
Birds and the bees.
is everything. So you do it in Auschwitz, or you do it in the mental institution, or you do it in the Pentagon. It's
not the
like
place to
not
do
a
it.
great place to do.
In fact, I would say one of the worst places I can think of to do that.
Probably
particular-
the worst place to do it.
Yeah,
is
probably
all those
the
places.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings us to my favorite segment.
What is it? What's your favorite segment?
What do you mean?
Final thought.
Give me LSD and then see what I do. Give me LSD and then see what I do.
Final thoughts. Gentlemen, what are your final thoughts about the Project M?
I'll go first. Shit was fucked, fam. Nah, I'm kidding. I have more to say than that. No, I mean this stuff.
That will be
absolutely
cut
crazy.
out. That will be cut out for sure.
No, it will not, because nothing gets cut.
Okay.
Well, one thing got cut ever.
We're talking to
Well,
Edward
actually, a whole episode got
Scissorhands
cut
here.
one time, but
Not the real one of Salem, but the other one, the edited
and
one.
not the one on Venmo.
Yeah, not the Venmo Scissorhands. Salem Scissorhands.
No, I mean this stuff's crazy. I mean, it's like Joe said. It's the ultimate. Oh, this conspiracy thing's like, here's it did happen. It's the ultimate.
If they said it to
conspiracy
you
that did happen.
tomorrow, you'd be like, bullshit.
Exactly. It's insane that it happened. The crazy motherfuckers that had the ideas be like, no, trust me. This is definitely for the greater good, not just because I'm a psychotic, crazy person who should be in a mental institute, but somehow got up to this high position job and I can do whatever the fuck I want and get paid to do it. Also, they're going to pay me to be tortured.
And again, it wasn't like
It's
one
insane.
weird like hospital. It was a nationwide program with 80 different places doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just
Also, there's only 2 times I've ever heard the Freedom of Information Act get brought up. This and White Goodman in Dodgeball finding out Kate's address. 'Cause Hippie's finally got something right. And that's my final thoughts on MKUltra.
He's probably got something right. The Freedom of
Excellent, dude.
Information
Nice
Act.
work, man. Excellent.
Dylan,
Phenomenal.
you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah. Final thoughts is that
Dylan did his final thoughts for the past 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I think he's
I
like, good.
have.
I still
But,
want to hear it though.
No, everyone wants to hear
Yeah.
these things. Final thoughts of MK Ultra is that we're not. Well, I don't think they're doing this these days because our government is way too.
They're doing something else.
Disparate. Disparate is the word. Too much
Disparate.
disparate. I call it disparate. too many boxes of things to coordinate. No one's doing this shit. There's plenty of funding, but to do mind control super soldiers, I really do believe that the governments of the world are trying to be anti-war. And
what makes you believe that?
Just fucking give me this. And
okay.
it's not benefiting anyone. I know that, whatever. But
that I agree with.
But so MKUltra type of stuff with drugs, it's just not relevant. So back then, I see what they were trying to do is just confuse people to just like be the JFK assassin and be like they're brainwashed. It ain't fucking happening through drugs. End of story. That's all I'm gonna say. And your virginity is reset after a year. Anyway, go on. They do. 12 months without sex, you get another virginity. So by the time you die, when you die, you look back at your life and they go, "You're dead," and they go, "You had 27 virginities," and you go,
New record.
I think so. Yeah, it's virginity is not a thing. It's like you had 27 of them. It's a year reset.
Mm-hmm.
Resets
it
after a year.
Feels like that.
Resets after a year of no sex. That's all I know.
That's locked in. That's canon now. Yeah, my final thoughts are that first of all, like I said already, conspiracies are real. Conspiracy theories are based on the fact that there's people conspiring against you, and this is one case where it is very much real.
Well
and
said.
Many helpless American citizens, at least the Nazis had the wherewithal to lock people up first. This was just people paying for health care, and they were getting tortured. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? But beyond that, here's the main thing. It didn't work at all. It did not work. I mean, the first documentary I watched with the guy was like, it actually didn't work, and they actually have these agents. No, it didn't. Pumping people full of LSD and torturing them doesn't get them to do what you want them to do. It just gets them to do what you're going to say that. So beyond that, that's why torture doesn't work. You can rip people's fingernails off, and they'll tell you they're Napoleon. It doesn't mean they are. It just means you got them to say it. And for a lot of world governments, that's all they need. Just tell me you're Napoleon. It's fine. We'll rip your fucking fingernails off. We'll kill your kids in front of you, whatever. And MKUltra, another example of that. They're going to base it on fear, say we have to do this because they're going to do it to us. And they were hoping that giving them a psychedelic drug or locking them in a room for 7 days without any sunlight or sound, they'll say things to you. They don't believe them. They're broken. You can... The MKUltra experiment proves to you what we've known since before time, probably the caveman days. You can break somebody by torturing them and locking them in a cave. That's all it proves. And it cost the American government millions of dollars, and it cost the American government the trust of the people. Or, I don't know, some of the people.
Sort of,
attention.
yeah.
Most people still trust them. But, that's my whole take is that, this is what... I'm not saying that they're doing shit like this all the time, and like Dylan said, they're not doing an MKUltra right now, but what other things is the United States government doing that in 40 years we're going to go, I can't believe they were doing that? I mean, one of the best interview points I saw in the documentary is the CIA director being like, sure, we're looking out for the American people, but the KGB, they do all kinds of awful stuff, and we never do that. And the interviewer goes like what? He goes, yeah, like politically motivated assassinations, government coups. Like, literally, he listed all the things the CIA did in the next 20 years, and he goes, we don't do any of that stuff. We never would. So, like, that's very concerning. And although I don't trust people who say that an angel came and took their kid from the grave, or that a demon came and crashed their car for them, I am fully open to the idea that the state is not looking out for your best interests. They put these people to the wolves, and then when they got accountable for it, they said, I don't know what you're talking about, and if you do drugs, it's illegal. They went from using LSD and buying the whole world's supply of LSD in 10 years, making it a Schedule I drug akin to heroin. Not because people are going to die, not because people are going to be violent.
Because it makes people too happy.
It doesn't do what they wanted it to do. They wanted it to make them soldiers, and it didn't do that. So that's all I got to say about that. MKUltra is
soft
proof
thoughts.
that
MKUltra rock, MKUltra roll. Give me LSD, psychoactive mind control.
Absolutely.
The great words of the Phantom AD.
Well said.
There you have it.
That's the gospel truth.
So I'm going to go into the garage and remount the M3's exhaust.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm going to do right now.
Love you guys. Love you, listeners. We're gonna see you next week.
We'll see you.
Good one.
Hey, think for yourselves.
Or don't.
And my balls are aching every time my heart beats. Is that something? Can I go home?
It's a modern
Smoking a
You think
cigarette.
because she's holding
know.
coke in her hand that she's a crack person?
a crack person.
Yeah, I mean...
What name was it on there? And why was it Delilah?
But yeah, she was just sitting on the curb with her legs wide open and no underwear, and I saw everything.
Creed.
And I was like, whoa, wow.
So you got her
Shitty
number,
M3.
and then did you text her?
Yeah, she's here right now, actually, yeah.
He went, this is great. I need someone to hold the passenger door shut while I drive down the highway.
Exactly.
I'm ready.
Answer honestly, this isn't like I'm...
I don't answer questions, but
I don't have a badge number or a name, so
That's
you
fine.
can't fucking get me with that
well,
one.
if that's the truth, get your fucking supervisor down here then.
And my sweet little grandmother is sitting there, terrified. And I was
Hanging from the ceiling. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
That's not funny. So
Oh no,
she-
I meant like a spider.
No,
I meant like a spider.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I should have been more
Like in
clear.
a spooky
Like
way.
a spider
Holy
in a
shit,
spooky way.
dude, Jesus
No.
Christ.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
she's
about
crawling up the ceiling. No, it's fine.
that. Yeah, I meant like a
Crawl up
like
the
a
ceiling.
spider.
I
I
gotcha.
understand.
Don't need to apologize. It's all good. Yeah, so I would move a chair. She'd be like, "Wow, you're so strong." So I'm not
He's
sure.
stronger than Joe.
He's stronger than Joe, but I know, yeah. But I've been to an abandoned one. I've been
ward.
to a real active one. So I went there to go visit my grandmother because she got put on.
You found out that she was at the abandoned one for some
Well, I've
reason.
been within.
She was there to go get her. Yeah, exactly.
5 years from now, when you hit your breaking point and you tie me to your radiator and put a bullet in my head, I'll be like, well, he was a good friend. You can't deny that. Remember Kimball's? I'll never forget Kimball's. That was a big man.
He
move.
paid for the ice.
Hashtag, make sure Kimball sees this clip.
Hashtag Kimball.
And she's saying something to him, and he goes, "Hey, fuck you."
Awesome. Poor
Hey,
grandma's there trying to watch
fuck
the
you.
Cosby Show.
I don't give a fucking shit. You fuck off. And she's like, "I thought you were a Christian." If it's a guy over the age of 60,
It's immediately
jerking off,
jack off time. Every time. From what I know, as soon as someone
they're
gets
over
admitted to
60
the
and
hospital,
they're in the
they
hospital,
are jacking
and they're
off.
there for more than 2 days. They're jacking off every
It's
time you pull the
happening
curtain.
all the time.
The guy's turning the rack and you're
Leave it
you're
right
getting
here,
pulled more and
please.
more. And they go, shift change. A different guy comes in and you go, hey, what happened to the cute girl?
I don't mind you cranking down on my bones if you're cute. My safety word is one more turn.
It was a book, and there was a film about this, and it's called Chaos. Does this ring a bell?
Yeah, is it spelled like chouse?
That's how you spell chaos.
That's how
Okay,
you
yeah,
spell
so
chaos.
They saw him doing this naturally without any drugs.
He's doing it natty.
And they're like, yeah, and they're
He's
like,
a
how
natty
can we
daddy.
how can we make more of you, Charles Manson?
Natty daddy man.
We need more.
Yeah.
The U.S. government needs more Charles Manson. I like where we're going.
Do I
here,
get
though.
a ribbon or a badge? A DJBP fucking...
It's your
I'll give you,
podcast.
I'll tell you what. If you show up 8 weeks in a row, I'll get a trophy for you.
It's you. You're not Andrew Thrain. You're not getting a bonus for showing up to your own podcast.
I really do believe that the governments of the world are trying to be anti-war, and
What makes you believe that?
just fucking give me this.
Yeah, I think in their defense, I love to defend Nazis. Clip that.
Sure. Yeah.
Not until
not
you
for
lose
77
all
straight
grip on
days.
reality and who you were and who you might be in the future.
I already lost that. But
Clip it.
Good, not just because I'm a psychotic, crazy person who should be in a mental institute, Now, you can't talk about MKUltra without talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the Phantom AD, ghoul rock and roll extraordinaire, coming to Salem, Massachusetts on June 20th. Go check him out. I guarantee you'll hear him on one of the commercials of this podcast. We're talking about MKUltra.